This is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news, the Astros place ace and AL Cy Young favorite Justin Verlander on the injured list with an injured right calf. NBA, the Knicks' path to an offseason deal to acquire Jazz superstar Donovan Mitchell has become more difficult, with the team finalizing a 4-year rookie extension with guard R.J. Barrett that could be worth up to $120 million. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the teams could restart Mitchell talks before training camps tip off late next month. Two big hangups remain in those trade discussions, notes Woj.
Unprotected first-round picks, and Quentin Grimes is a player that Utah would have liked to have in a deal. With R.J. Barrett, that was a player that New York has wanted to hold on to.
Adrian Wojnarowski on Get Up. NFL, Washington Commanders rookie running back Brian Robinson has made the team's 53-man roster 2 days after he sustained non-life-threatening injuries after being shot twice in an armed robbery attempt. He could be placed on IR depending on his recovery. Robinson is meeting with team doctors today to work on a rehabilitation plan.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It's ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400 up in Haywood County. And, of course, you can hear the Sportsocracy everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Take us with you everywhere you go. Watch us as well when we're live here in the Ingles Studio. We're always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. On YouTube, just check us out at thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link. Don't forget to follow through to YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us you can join us in the chat each and every day. It's only for subscribers. We do that so we can try to keep all the bots out. Doesn't always work, but
today is a magnificent day.
Why?
It's NFL Cut Day.
But that's not a wonderful day. I mean, come on.
Well, NFL
dreams are being crushed as you speak, and you're just taking joy in it.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Bruce Allen, who is he does the same thing we do, not former Washington GM Bruce Allen, posted out on Twitter what is probably the most accurate thing that I have seen in quite some time. For 364 days, NFL media screams for guys to be released, cut, you're awful, you're the worst. And then today is where you hear everyone go, just remember these are real people, real feelings, right. Okay? So, all right.
I saw that as well.
Spare me.
I saw that as well. That's why I chimed in with that. Because, I mean, we get it. We get it. You know, guys are disappointed that they're getting cut from teams, but
well, here's the thing.
There's always the XFL, right?
There's only one fair in life, and it's the thing that's showing up in a couple weeks with clowns and Ferris wheels. So
it is NFL Cutdown Day. Roster's got to be at 53 men by the time 4 o'clock rolls around this afternoon. We'll talk about the surprise cuts, the big questions arising out of the cuts that have been made. We also did not get a chance to get to the NFL Top 100 yesterday. Tom Brady, number one. We'll have all the reactions to that coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. We will be drafting today the players who've been cut.
We will be drafting the best players that have been cut that could be ending up on your roster. A guy that's probably not going to be on that list, Alex Leatherwood. He is no longer a Las Vegas Raider.
And you're just taking so much joy in that.
If you want to know how bad, really how amazing it is that the Las Vegas Raiders are as good as they are, from 2019 to 2021, these were their first-round picks. Josh Jacobs, Cleveland Farrell, Jonathan Abram. All three had their fifth-year option declined.
Mm-hmm.
The next year, Henry Ruggs, Damon Arnett. Both gone. 2021, Alex Leatherwood. Gone. It is hard to be this good when you boo-boo kitty 6 first-round picks in a row.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't necessarily boo-boo kitty all of them. Josh Jacobs was a good pick. He's a running back, and he's not worth the
Don't
option.
take running backs in the first round. Mike Mayock has single-handedly almost doomed the chances of me ever working in an NFL front office in one 3-year tenure.
The Las Vegas Raiders have the same theory as the Los Angeles Rams, only they don't trade and get something out of their draft picks. They just waste them.
They just set them on fire.
Right. Screw these draft picks. We don't need them.
I feel like we're going to need a short breaking news thing for today.
A short breaking news
I feel like
thing.
just a horn or something.
Hmm.
Because there's news breaking all over the place.
Yeah, I don't have a short one. I didn't prepare a short one, but
we can find one.
I do have this one. Who's gonna break the news? And we could just do that.
That'll work. Just so long as you don't do that little trunicated dance every time, because that's
What's wrong with my dance?
It's awful.
It's not.
It looks like a dry
joyful.
heave with music behind it.
It's joyful, and you, my friend, are a naysayer, and I don't appreciate it.
Correct.
I don't appreciate it. I guess the biggest move that was made today, big trade that was made today, Philadelphia Eagles getting Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from the New Orleans Saints.
There is nothing that I love more than watching people hypothesize on Twitter what draft pick compensation is going to be, and then acting like the sky is falling when they find out they were 4 rounds too high.
Right.
That trade breaks. All right, so Chauncey Gardner-Johnson traded from the Saints to the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Saints Twitter immediately goes, well, I'm sure we got at least a 2 for him.
A 2?
And I'm sitting back going, that's a weird way to say a 5 at best, but okay, let's sit back and see.
A 2 for Chauncey
And what did it end up being? A 5 and a 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to reiterate, I feel like I say this at least one time a year. When you have to pay a guy, he's not worth nearly as much as you think he is. And CGJ is a great-ish slot safety hybrid.
Right.
He is a vast improvement over anything Philadelphia had. He is also probably the single most hated player in the NFL because he is, how do I say this nicely?
Dirty.
A bit of a jerk. He is a bit of a jerk.
Right.
But, I mean, I look at that and go, that's an improvement. That's what you're trying to do today. Improve your roster.
And the Las Vegas Raiders thought the best way to improve their roster was to cut loose their first-round draft pick from last year, Alex Leatherwood. Remember on draft night when we laughed so hard?
Audibly, out loud.
Just cackled when they drafted him.
He was actually the player that a phrase that I have both come to love and use very often. He is the player it was coined on. He's a guard, he's a guard, he's a guard. That was Alex Leatherwood.
Can he still be a good guard in this league?
Depends on the system. He doesn't fit in that quick hittery Josh McDaniels. I knew as soon as McDaniels got hired, ooh, I hope you are renting because you fit in this like I would fit into a dress.
Oh.
And as somebody that's worn a dress more than once, it's not a pleasant sight.
That's frightening.
Yeah, that'll haunt your nightmares. You're welcome.
Yeah, there are their pictures.
100%.
Let's see them.
100%. It's not a great sight. Just throwing that out there.
I don't care. I mean, if you're going to put the mental picture in my head, I want to see the actual
I don't
proof.
make the best looking man. You throw a wig on me?
Oh, are you talking about the time you dressed up as Melania Trump?
Correct.
For Halloween?
Sadly enough, not the only time it's happened. But yes, that as a point of reference is one of the times I was talking about.
All right. NFL cut day is here.
Oh, button.
Uh-oh.
Who's gonna make the news?
The Las Vegas Raiders have traded Trayvon Mullen to the Arizona Cardinals
For a bag of footballs?
Probably. Compensation not released as of yet.
Mm-hmm. All right, so play your prognostication game since you're so much better at it than Twitter.
Of what the
Of
value of
what
that's
the comp
going to be?
is. What do you think they gave up to get
Carolina
Trayvon
gave up
Mullen?
a 6 and a 7 to get Laviska Shenault. I'm going to say it's in the ballpark of that. It won't be more than that. Unless they just highway robbed the Arizona Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what we were talking about yesterday.
But maybe the Arizona Cardinals paid up. Maybe they paid up because they don't have the strongest of secondaries.
That is the nicest way you could possibly have said that.
I mean, you got Byron Murphy and who's the two?
Marco Wilson.
Marco Wilson, shoe thrower extraordinaire.
Always a bad sign when your number one corner is a guy that you want to exclusively play in the slot, which is what Arizona wants to do with Byron Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no definitive on the compensation yet, but I would wager that will not be the last time we hit that button today.
No, not a chance. I mean, teams came into today having a maximum of 80 players. So I've been seeing the totals thrown out, and I think I've seen 20 different numbers thrown around, but something like 380 players are going to be cut today.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But we have yet to discuss the most integral of all the news.
What is that?
It's official. It's Dameon Pierce season, baby!
Dameon Pierce season.
Marlon Mack.
Cut
Gone.
loose.
There is now no impediment to Dameon Pierce being the no-doubt bell cow of the Houston Texans.
And I don't think anybody should be shocked by that.
I was shocked they outright cut him.
And that is a little surprising. But there again, is he worth keeping on the roster?
Our team will find a spot for him. It just won't be Houston. And I'll be honest with you, that's the most encouraging thing I've seen the Houston Texans do in 3 whole years. Found a player, no doubt. You have hit on this guy. Every person that does what I do, it is universal. We all agree. That kid is really, really good at football. Take away every potential impediment to getting him every touch he could possibly get. Tomorrow on the Uncensored Debut with Brian Haynes and I'm sure that will come up.
Dameon Pierce is, we talked about it the other day, he is now one of the top targets if you're still doing rookie drafts and in your regular drafts.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he is currently, I am so overweight on Dameon Pierce that I need to see a doctor.
Dameon Pierce, would you have him, let's see, RB 24 for this year? Okay.
He's a certified, no doubt, RB2 to me now.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he falls right into that category, right along the same lines as Damian Harris and
ahead of Damian Harris
and that group.
Nope, ahead of that.
Okay,
drastically ahead of that. 3 rounds ahead of that.
I'm just saying, I think that's where Damian Harris is ranked.
Shouldn't be. Stop doing that. You want nothing from New England.
Except for Ramondre Stevenson.
And you only want him where he's supposed to go.
Okay.
Which is way later than what we're talking about here.
Right. Okay. Any other cuts standing out to you?
Nothing yet, but there's a lot of things. There are a lot of things being discussed. And after the break, there is something I have to address. I have heard plenty of smart people ask me one question, and I need to address why it is not the smartest question.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Happy Cut Day, everybody.
Roots and wings. The 2 greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Asheville Pizza and Brewing is so happy to announce the return of the $3 movie theater. We've added a second screen to our Merriman Avenue location. Soon you'll be able to catch family favorites, cult classics, and second-run films for only $3, just like the good old days. Visit the main screen for current movies and don't forget about trivia night on Wednesdays. Visit AshevilleBrewing.com for info and schedules, or stop by on Merriman Ave. That's AshevilleBrewing.com.
You ever feel like when you're at work, everything you say sounds like this because you're completely unstimulated and you don't care?
But then, when you're talking to your friends about things you're truly interested in and passionate about, you sound like you're alive and loving every moment of it.
Then maybe you should try podcasting with Spreaker from iHeart. It's the easiest way to podcast and get paid for it. Just head over to Spreaker.com, Spreaker, and start your voyage from ugh
to woo!
The Honest Truly Calming Collection is our must-have for Hazy's nighttime routine. The tear-free shampoo body wash and moisturizing conditioner help make bath time easy. The Truly Calming face and body lotion nourishes his delicate skin throughout the night. Honest overnight diapers keep leaks on lock for up to 12 hours, so we can both get a good night's sleep. For sweet dreams, end your kiddo's day with the Honest Truly Calming Collection.
This week on RVER, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. I'm sorry, I can't operate on that vehicle.
But doctor, you took an oath.
That RV, it's my son's RV.
Oh, doctor, isn't there anything you can do?
I'm not a miracle worker, Sheila. I'm an RV surgeon, trained to save the lives of large, injured recreational vehicles, which is definitely a real profession.
When your RV really needs saving, Progressive has you covered. See if you could save with a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. So, Jeremy, you've been getting a lot of calls, a lot of texts. Really concerned about one team in the NFL.
The Dallas Cowboys only have one quarterback. What are we possibly going to do? Nobody is picking up Cooper Rush. This is just a clerical move. He is a tenured vet, which means he does not go on waivers, which means they looked at him and said, Cooper, we're going to let you go. And tomorrow, about this time, we're going to call you, and you're going to pick up your phone. And then you're going to come back here.
You're going to come back to work.
So we can put somebody on IR in your place.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I said yesterday, for a player to go on IR designated to return, they have to be on the roster for 1 day.
Yes.
That day, today.
Is today. Cooper Rush will be brought back to be the backup to Dak Prescott.
And I mean, there's a slew of those. You're doing it with Logan Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't really understand why you let Tyler Johnson go, but, you know.
I mean, I really don't either. I mean, we have all of the wide receivers that you could possibly want.
Well, you held on to Brashad Perriman, which I'm really not understanding.
He's a field stretcher, man. He's a field stretcher.
No, he leaves on a stretcher. Same words. You just got to put them in a slightly different order.
Right. I don't really understand it either.
It's okay. Some wise team in the bottom of the waiver priority will be very happy about that one.
Chicago Bears on line 1.
And a slew of others.
Do you look at the cuts the same way that I do? Well, I know this is not true. I know you don't look at the cuts the same way I do because you have so many different three-dimensional chess ways of looking at things. But, like, when I'm going down the list of guys that got cut, like looking at the Chicago Bears and going, they cut Daz Newsome? How bad does he have to be as a wide receiver for you to be cut by the Chicago Bears?
Well, he just couldn't really do anything. He had one speed, go fast over the top. Problem is that Justin Fields doesn't have 2 seconds to set and throw, so there's not really an asset that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
No, most of the time I go through the cut list and I start hearkening back to, well, how did I view this guy? Because that's what NFL teams do.
Mm-hmm.
One of the narratives that always makes me laugh on this day is how much we talk about, well, this guy could be claimed. There are going to be, over the course of this day, 800 players released. Not everybody's getting picked up. A lot of these guys are going to just slide right through to practice squads because if you claim a guy on waivers, you don't get to put him on the practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
He has to stay active for a week. It's just not going to happen. So you see a lot of these guys move. They're planning on stashing him on the practice squad. Especially now that the practice squad's 16 players wide.
Right.
So it's not that big of a deal, but there are some that will sneak through and wind up making impacts elsewhere.
So you think Daz will be one of those guys?
He probably ends up on their practice squad. I don't see anybody taking a flyer on him, if that's what you're asking me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the only thing I'm curious about.
I'm going to say the same thing I said yesterday. This is a really bad time to be a wide receiver in the NFL, especially one that has shown absolutely nothing. Because there will be talented receivers that are just sitting around going, where is my next check coming from?
Mm-hmm.
And no, one of them is not Josh Gordon.
Daz Newsome got cut loose by the Chicago Bears. Chaz Surratt got cut by the Minnesota Vikings today.
You remember when we gave that Minnesota Vikings draft an A+?
Uh-huh.
Of their first 4 picks, there's one left on the roster 17 months later.
Mm-hmm.
It's all conjecture, folks. That's all it is.
It's absolute guesswork. Lots of rookies that, Jeremy, you talked not necessarily ad nauseum about in the draft process, but, I mean, especially some of the deeper round guys are guys that got cut loose today.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see them get cut loose. The Dolphins, I think, cut 7 guys that were very much talked about in the draft process.
Mm-hmm.
Those are guys that could get picked up because teams will still look at players, especially guys from the last class. This is a lot like rookies are a lot like draft picks. They're like draft pick adjacent because if it's a guy that we would have used a 7th-round pick on, we view that as an extra 7.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do we have to play some cap logics or do we have to play the shell game with where we put guys? Maybe. And I'll give you an example. Somebody that we talked about a lot. I think he worked out for 26 teams. Cameron Good.
Mm-hmm.
Special team kid, linebacker out of California. I don't see a way he winds up back in Miami. And so when the average fan sees these things, they go, how does somebody like, I'll use the one you said, Daz Newsome. How does he not get picked up, winds up on a practice squad, and this linebacker that nobody's ever heard of because the teams have?
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for somebody to fill a role.
Yeah.
This is not fantasy football, all right? The guys that are moving now, these are not change your roster over kind of guys. This is, can you play special teams? Do you have a role that will actually serve us on game day? Because if you don't, we're going to hide you on the practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
In the hope that 2 years from now you can develop into a player.
The Miami Dolphins made one of the, to me, what I thought was a surprise cut because this guy's been pretty good. Solomon Kinley, former Georgia player, it's an offensive guard. He got cut loose by Miami today. I feel like he's a guy that will probably get claimed off of waivers. He didn't fit the zone running scheme.
No,
so that's why.
And that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And you see this all over the league. The Minnesota Vikings. Kellen Mond. Kevin O'Connell, Seacrest out.
Right.
I didn't draft you. I could care less.
Absolutely.
And somebody will wind up putting him on a practice squad, and they'll realize that he couldn't play dead in the Western, just like I told you a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a huge arm. So did Ryan Leaf. So did many other quarterbacks.
Right.
Doesn't mean you're an NFL quarterback.
Malcolm Butler got cut loose. That was another name.
Woo.
What? Really?
Woo. I could see him being re-added to the roster. You got to be careful with vested veterans. Rookies have to go through waivers, which means every team in the league gets a crack at them.
Mm-hmm.
And you're obviously not going to reclaim a guy that I think that goes without saying, but I felt the need to say it anyway. Now, a vested veteran, all you have to do is make a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Hey, don't answer calls from other area codes for the next 24 hours, and we'll see you on Thursday. Which I find to be really annoying, by the way.
So Malcolm Butler's probably one of those, if you had to guess.
I wouldn't be shocked. Logan Ryan is certainly one of those.
Okay.
Logan Ryan's no doubt one of those. See, to me, this is one of those things that the NFL, they do virtually everything well. This is annoying. Because a guy like Deshaun Watson, he's suspended. You don't have to do this with him. You can just automatically put him on the suspended list. You don't have to cut a guy and then bring him back. Why can we not do this with injured reserve guys? Why can we not do this with – what does it matter? It's a day. Set that line of demarcation a day earlier. It keeps all of these things from happening, and it saves a whole lot of tweets.
Another guy who could get claimed that got cut loose by his I guess now former team, Quincy Roche.
He'll end up in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh will correct the mistake that they made last year.
Well, it wasn't a mistake. That was one of those things that they tried to slide him through, thinking, "Oh, nobody will claim him," and then the Giants did.
Which, to me, that's a mistake. Like you release the guy hoping that he's not going to.
But you have to look at
get claimed.
You have to look at the things that went into that. He was going to be the fifth linebacker on the roster, and I mean, you come to a point where you go, I can't carry you. I have no choice.
Mm-hmm.
I can't give up on somebody like Alex Highsmith, who would actually play for us, for a developmental rookie.
No, and nobody would expect you to.
And so you try to slide him through on waivers, and if he doesn't make it, oops, we'll try to correct that if we get the opportunity.
You just it's just kind of surprising to me.
It's going to be a wild day.
It is. It's already been a pretty wild day here in the Sportsocracy and in the NFL as rosters being cut down to 53 men, and we're just a week away.
And yesterday was a bit of a wild day. And I can't emphasize this enough. Be careful what you like on Twitter. An NFL quarterback learned this the hard way, and now this is one of the biggest stories of the day. And I'm not sure there's that much actually to it.
We'll talk about that up next here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Just stray thunderstorms in our forecast for tonight, and then some lower humidity to enjoy for midweek. We're talking about some 50s in the valley Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and then showers work back into the holiday weekend forecast. 63 degrees in the valley tonight with an isolated thunderstorm. Wednesday, sunshine, lower humidity, high 83, low 59, and even some mid-50s Thursday morning with the higher elevations. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has everything you need for school at prices that won't hold you back. Right now, Staples comp books and number 2 pencils are just 50 cents, and 2-pocket paper folders are just 25 cents each. In-store only offer ends 9/3, limit 30. Don't send your kids back to school, send them forward at Staples.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
All right, we've got a story coming out of Atlanta. Yesterday, an indictment was revealed in court in the Atlanta area, as there apparently has been a large gang-related break-in robbery scheme going on by a gang that apparently has grown over the last few years in a neighboring county, so outside of Fulton County. They're called the Drug Rich Gang. The Drug Rich Gang has apparently been targeting celebrity homes in the Atlanta area, and this story hit the sports wires because one of the targets, along with singer Mariah Carey, Atlanta United goalkeeper Brad Guzan, and Marlo Hampton, some of you may know from the Real Housewives of Atlanta show.
I am not one of those
I am
people.
not one of those either, but
I do not believe you.
My wife may be listening today, and she will probably want to know because she watches all of those Housewives shows. But Calvin Ridley, apparently a target of this scheme, of this just 220 counts were handed down. 26 people face charges of violating Georgia's anti-gang and racketeering laws. And the district attorney, Fannie Willis, says that they have been running carjackings, kidnappings, armed robbery, shootings, home invasions, all of this in the last few years. Since 2016, the Drug Rich Gang has been basically, doing their part to terrorize the city of Atlanta. And they've been targeting celebrities. Why? Because celebrities share too much damn information on social media.
Stop showing all the things you have.
Right. Like, I get that you've got all the things and you want to show them off, and that's cool and everything. But, of course, when you're showing off your fancy watches and your new cars and all of that,
you might as well be holding a sign that says "Rob me."
Absolutely. I mean, we've doing news stories over the years about around the holidays. If you get a new TV, don't put your TV box out by your trash can, because that tells everybody around your neighborhood who possibly may want to do you harm or steal from you will know, hey, they got a new TV. Posting things like that on social media is not a good idea. We know that you're rich, and we know you have so many of the things, but showing the actual proof is what gets you targeted by not just gangs, but regular run-of-the-mill thieves.
And I am by no means a wealthy gent. just since we're telling this story, I need you to understand. If you ever decide to target my house, I'm on the other side of that door. And I ain't a little feller. Just throwing that out there.
I would assume you have to have major stones in the first place to target celebrities because God knows what kind of security they have paid for.
Well, I mean, I would wager Mariah Carey's probably got some serious security.
100%. I would expect some of the baddest dudes that have flamed out of the Atlanta Falcons organization to be watching her house 24/7.
And I'll be really honest with you. Number one reason I'd be scared to break into Mariah Carey's house, I'm afraid she would sing to me. This story theoretically could have been in crimes. But I have another crime story that I find to be just a little bit more crimey. My story is about a guy named Scott Spina Jr. He's 25 years old, and, well, he likes to do crimes. And it's a very specific crime. He likes to lie to people about Super Bowl rings. When he was 20 years old, he bought a New England Patriots Super Bowl ring with a bad check. I don't know why we still have to say this in 2022. Don't take checks for things, okay? It's a piece of paper that somebody wrote on it and said, I have this much monies. If a 20-year-old hands you a check for $63,000, which is what that was,
don't do it.
Take it to the bank first.
Right.
He goes with you before he gets the thing. Just throwing that out there. Well, that's actually not what he just got arrested for. He ran a bit of a scheme. Unbeknownst to me, the ring companies, Jostens and all the others that make Super Bowl rings, offer rings for family members. I did not know that. Well, he posed as a family member of Tom Brady's and purchased 3 against – it's not how this is supposed to go. You're not supposed to be able to just buy these things.
Right.
He purchased 3 of them, and I'll give you one guess what he did with it.
Sold them.
Turned it right around just like he did with the ring in 2016 and sold it to an auction house. He has now been sentenced to 3 years in prison for fraudulently obtaining merchandise.
Yes. Obtaining
Don't
property
lie about
by
who you
false
are.
pretenses.
I also have an update to a story that I told sometime last week. South Carolina was renaming their rooster. And I'm afraid I have bad news.
Don't tell me they named it something other than the Gamecock Commander.
They did.
Minus game.
And that didn't win.
How?
15,000 signatures were on the document to name this bird that thing that I can't say.
I was going to say.
Not only did they not name him what they should have, which is the name that you said.
The Gamecock Commander.
They named him quite possibly the lamest thing you could possibly have named him. They named him the General.
That's it?
They named him the General. They named him after a bad insurance company that Shaquille O'Neal endorses. You don't have that insurance. I know it as well as you do.
The General.
That is a horrible name. You had the answer. It was right there in front of you.
And at least if you're going to name him the General, give him some kind of a nickname. What were some of the names that what was it? General Dirt Pecker or whatever it was.
I'm going to go with that was not one of them.
It was one of them.
Cluck Norris was that was my 2.
General Cluck Norris. Why couldn't
you don't
we
need
have
to
done
put
that?
You don't need to put General in front of Cluck Norris.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to give it something other than just the General.
And I would be remiss if I didn't do this. General Cluck Norris. Had to be done.
You watched too much How I Met Your Mother.
South Carolina, you did it wrong.
Yeah, that was the one hope that I had, that Gamecock Nation was going to come out strong, and they were just
don't worry, they did. That clearly won the fan vote. Here's my question. If you're not gonna listen to the fans, why have a vote?
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you there was no answer of all the names that we gave the other day. The General finished dead last. I promise you.
100%.
I'm not calling that bird that.
The Dirt Pecker Decker was the one that I was like, yeah, that's it.
I'm not calling that bird that. I am calling it its real name. And you know what? I know the people that listen to this show will go with me.
Cluck Norris? That's what you're going with?
Nope. I'm going with the one that I can't say. And the more we talk about this, the more tempted I am. So, let's move on.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. It is cut down day in the NFL. We'll continue to bring you all the breaking news throughout the program, but one player is getting some attention because he may or may not have led people on social media.
Well, it's not just that. Lamar Jackson he was living his best life on Twitter yesterday. So a tweet comes out that basically said Lamar was looking for more than $250 million guaranteed because the Ravens have already offered him that, and he said no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he responded very simply with, no, they didn't. I've told you that more than once.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, who was the one owner that lost their mind about the Deshaun Watson deal? Steve Bisciotti, because he knew, you just put me on the clock and you put me in a bad situation. But what do good teams do? They don't overpay ever. If you remember, Kirk Cousins got a fully guaranteed deal.
Yes.
Did you notice that nobody else did that? Nobody did that. Why? Because it doesn't make any sense. Then Cleveland does because they had to get Deshaun Watson. And trust me, I'm not blaming you for it. Every owner in the league lost their minds, whether they said it out loud or not.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore's not going to fold to this. Now, that was not the only thing he did on Twitter. Somebody did a Photoshop job of Lamar Jackson in a Dolphins jersey, which Lamar liked. And, of course, Twitter loses its mind because Lamar is from Broward County.
What do you mean Lamar Jackson liked this? Lamar's going to the Dolphins.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Let me cut through this Ravens thing because we get asked this question all the time. What's going on with Lamar? How do you think this is going to go? There are two ways this goes. Because Lamar's already said he's shutting down contract talks as soon as the season starts. So you're on the clock. You got a week.
Mm-hmm.
There's I'll say 70% chance nothing gets done here. Nothing.
Yep.
And a year from now, you go on the franchise tag, and Baltimore just says, you know what? We'll wait for the market to correct itself. There will be other quarterbacks that will get other deals. You will see that this fully guaranteed thing is not a thing in the NFL, and we'll be able to come to some kind of agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Or... and I think this is more likely in the next 7 calendar days than probably many other people that do what we do. Steve Bisciotti, Eric DeCosta, Lamar Jackson sit down in a room and just go, all right, it's better for all involved that we get this done. What is it that you actually want? We're not giving you fully guaranteed. You're a running quarterback. You know it as well as we do.
Mm-hmm.
What can we come to an agreement on? Performance-based incentives, whatever the case may be. And they sit in a room and they hash this out. And it comes out somewhere in the ballpark of a 6-year deal, which will give Lamar the extra time which he wants because he's here for a good time, not a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of old quarterbacks that run as predominantly as Lamar Jackson does.
Right.
You come to an agreement. If it was anybody but Baltimore, I would say, well, you're in trouble. But it is Baltimore. And I've seen you do this time after time after time after time. So just relax. Some people like things on Twitter. Some people like things on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
For all we know, Lamar was sitting at home with a cocktail in his hand and he went, hey, watch this. I'm going to throw the whole interwebs into pandalirium.
See, I don't even think it was that much. I think it was he saw the picture and went, hey, I used to love the Dolphins. I'm from the Miami area. That's kind of cool. Let's throw that out there. Doesn't mean I want to play for him.
See, I'm more nefarious than you are.
Of course.
Because if I had that kind of power, I would go. I would look at HWA and go.
You would do the Aaron Rodgers thing.
Hey, watch. I'm going to break the internet for a minute.
Right.
Boop.
You would do the Aaron Rodgers thing, and you would play everyone like a fiddle.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would.
But I just don't, I don't think that everybody feels that way. And Lamar saw a picture of him in a Miami Dolphins uniform and went, that's cool. I used to dream about that.
Now,
because he also responded to somebody's tweet that said, hey, he wants to go to Miami. And he was like, no, that was just one of my favorite teams. I grew up a Dallas Cowboys fan, and Miami was too because it was my hometown team. I don't see everybody flipping out about the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, Lamar said his favorite team growing up was the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to supplant Dak Prescott.
Now, I will say that there's, and maybe this is coming from, look, they don't call me Richard Petty for nothing because I am the pettiest person you will ever meet in your life. I could also say that there might be just a little bit, maybe in the dark recesses of Lamar Jackson's brain, where he did that to go, all right, 7 days. That's what you got. You coming to the table with an offer, or is this going to get contentious? Because that is something that type A personalities are going to do. You and I have talked about this more times than I could count. You and I are very different people at just the base root of us.
Yes.
You are somebody that will avoid confrontation at all costs.
I will steer around it.
I will bathe in it. If I know you're upset at me about something, I will poke you until you either go away from me or you tell me what it is, we get this out there, and we move past it. Swallow the frog. If you're told in the morning you have to eat a frog, quarterback. I'm a specific kind of quarterback that needs to be in the right system. So where do I have a better chance to be the best that I can be? Is it in Baltimore where they have built a whole roster for me? Or is it going to Miami or the Dallas Cowboys? Wherever. I don't care where the final landing destination is. I'm in Baltimore where I'm completely beloved. I'm also with the franchise that believed in me when nobody else did. I just want to get it done. And that's where I think he's at.
Yeah. The one thing that sticks out to me still about the Lamar Jackson thing is I wish for his sake he had an agent. I wish he had an agent to go into that room with him.
And I guess this is where I'm different from most. I don't know what that would change. The agent is going to draw up the legalese and things like that. As long as this doesn't get contentious, I'm not afraid of Baltimore doing the Arizona Cardinal thing. The Baltimore Ravens are not a Bazooka Joe organization like the Arizona Cardinals are. That's a Bush League team.
Yeah, they won't build.
If that was the case, then yeah, I would worry about the agent. This way, I don't care.
They won't build embarrassing things into the contract and all of that. I agree with you there.
Captain Obvious in the YouTube comments, this is the best way I think anybody could possibly have said this. I will never understand why grown men can't sit down and just talk without letting these things linger on. That's where I think we're at. I think that's what Lamar wants. I'm not here to get every cent out of you. That's why he said the thing on Twitter. No, they didn't, because if they had, we'd already be done. And there is a part of him that's going, I'm going to control this narrative. If that's what's out there about me, that I'm turning down 35, or what would that be, 45 million guaranteed a year? No, I am not. And I want Baltimore to know that. These are my people. These are the people that love me. These are the people that buy my jersey. These are the people that made me a superstar. I want them to know, no. I didn't turn that down. That wasn't offered. Because if it was, we wouldn't have this problem. And I could see that being a little bit of a little poke. But you mad? We gonna talk about it, or are you just gonna walk around perturbed all day?
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Black Mountain, get ready to rock. Dark City Rock Fest, presented by Elite Events and Promotions, is coming to Silverados Saturday, September 17th, starring Saving Abel. $20 in advance, 25 day of show, and a portion of the proceeds will go to United Way, Dark City Rock Fest with Saving Abel. Saturday, September 17th at SilveradosWNC.com.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingles, we know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature, memorable moments with than family. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
O'Reilly. Don't risk getting stranded with a bad battery. Our professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery does need to be replaced, we'll help you find the best battery for your vehicle and your budget. Don't wait until your battery is dead. Get it tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, it's Tuscola at Irwin. The non-conference season continues for both teams as Tuscola looks to get revenge for last year's loss to the Warriors. The Mountaineers have started the season 2-0. Irwin got a big win over Mountain Heritage last week. Can they keep the momentum rolling? We get things started at 6 o'clock with Sports Tank Friday. The Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show is at 6:30 and the kickoff at 7. The best coverage of high school football is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
Who are we going to cheer for on Sundays now?
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. You want to be Beer City's best fantasy football player? It's very simple. All you have to do is just click on the link that you can find anywhere on any of our stuff.
If you follow us on any social media, you can find the link to the contest. And we have an announcement because something happened earlier today. We didn't even think of this.
That's right. The battle for the belt. We got a big prize pack on the line here, and it's a $20 donation to Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project to get in on the contest. And one of our faithful fellow podcasters, Zach Sawyer of the Dude Takes podcast,
which is hilarious, by the way,
hit Jeremy up yesterday and said, hey, I'm going to get into the contest, but I'd also like to know if I can give more to the charity because I've been doing some research on them and Evelyn is, 5-star rated and all this kind of stuff. I want to do more. So can I make a donation larger? And then you can give entries away to people who may not be able to afford the $20 donation right now. And excellent idea.
First of all, it is one of the coolest things anybody has unsolicited ever said to me. It was just randomly out of the blue messaged me on Twitter and said, hey, if I give more, will you give these to people that maybe couldn't afford the donation, whatever the case may be? So we took that a step further, and we're going to match his 5. So we have 10, if whatever the case may be. Just shoot me a message. I'm the one that answers all of our social media things. It's a scary thing for me to say based off what people say to me on Twitter sometimes. I got thick skin. I'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
But we want as many people into this. It's all about the charity. That's what this is really about. This is going to be fun. It's a contest we're going to run all year long. I am putting the rules up for the contest on all of our social medias at 6 o'clock today. So all of the people that have asked, everything you need to know will be in the rules. We'll give you links on how to get into all the things, and we will have the sign up for the charity best ball leagues later tonight. So you'll be able to sign up for your time. That is what will allocate what league you go into based on when you can draft.
So you'll be doing 2 separate contests.
Yes. So
You'll
the
be doing
best ball.
Yep.
The best ball is bonus points into the bigger contest, but it also gives you a chance to win smaller prizes, but prizes from us and some of our wonderful sponsors that aren't the belt. So that the person that wins the belt won't be the only person that walks away with something.
Yes.
And that was the thought.
And Jeremy's thinking in the back of his mind, well, I mean, I'm keeping the belt. But y'all can have it.
Absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. You come with the king, you best not miss. And one of our wonderful partners, Armchair Commentary, he's added to the prize pack, contributing shirts from his wonderful affiliates on his great podcast.
Nice.
Which I have been a guest on. He has been a guest on this here program many a time and will continue to be.
The prize pack just keeps getting bigger and bigger every day. You want to get involved in the contest. Again, you can hit us up if times are tight and you can't afford it right now, but you really want to get in on the contest. You know what? We got entries for you. We got 10 entries, 5 from Zach Sawyer, the Dude Takes podcast, 5 from us. We will match his donation of entries.
And that's what it's all about, is the donation to the charity.
Yes.
None of the money of this is going to us. This is all going to Eblin for that reason. We want as many of you in as humanly possible. Mm-hmm. And anything that you say to us will be obviously kept. We're not going to say, that's not how this is going to work. So if that's the case, shoot a message to me, shoot a message to Tank. We'll make it work. But we want this donation to be as big as humanly possible come December with Christmas. And we want as many of you in this contest as humanly possible.
And if you will, if you do want to support the charity, which we highly encourage, you can go to our YouTube stream, go to the description of the video. The link is there. It's also posted on all of our social medias as well. All you got to do is just click on the link, get signed up, make your $20 donation to the Eblin Charity St. Nicholas Project, and you will have your ticket into the battle for the belt.
This is going to be a whole lot of fun.
It is. Can't wait for all of it to unfold. We have a deadline of September the 9th.
And that's just as late as I can physically get you in. And still have a best ball league drafted.
Mm-hmm.
And with the bonus points, obviously, you need to be in that league.
But the season kicks off on the 8th.
It does.
So you just negate that first
Not exactly.
game?
Not exactly.
Okay, all right.
Hey, if you're one of those people that you want to wait till the last possible minute, we're leaving that open for you, too.
Okay. Very good. I was just concerned because when I was talking the other day about September the 8th is the kickoff of the season, my wife was listening. And I got home and I had to hear, something else happens on September the 8th, too. Yes, honey, I know our anniversary is on September the 8th. The only problem is nobody cares but us. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Just stray thunderstorms in our forecast for tonight, and then some lower humidity to enjoy for midweek. We're talking about some 50s in the valley Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and then showers work back into the holiday weekend forecast. 63 degrees in the valley tonight with an isolated thunderstorm. Wednesday, sunshine, lower humidity, high 83, low 59, and even some mid-50s Thursday morning with the higher elevations. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Summer days getting shorter and business to-do lists getting longer? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor your first job and get hiring today by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
I'm Hannah Waddingham, and this is Hustle Rule, an audio docuseries featuring the untold stories of women soccer players around the world. From the streets of Santos, Brazil, to a truck smuggling Afghan refugees bumping along a road in rural Denmark. These are the stories of players willing to risk everything for the
From
game
the Ingles
they love.
Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Astros, the team with the best record in the American League, placed ace Justin Verlander on the injured list with a right calf injury. Verlander, the favorite for AL Cy Young, is tied for the MLB lead in wins with 16. NFL, the Ravens, with a banged-up backfield, expected to sign former Raiders running back Kenyon Drake. Meanwhile, the big story for Baltimore is still, will the Ravens and quarterback Lamar Jackson agree on a new contract before the former NFL MVP's deadline of Week 1? There is a way for that to happen, explains ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum.
Come up with a deal where both sides can claim victory. Maybe you give him an average per year of $55 million, so he clearly is the highest paid quarterback. The Ravens can claim victory where they don't go to $230 million. So you put something in a deal where both sides feel like it's not ideal, but we both can claim victory.
Mike Tannenbaum on Get Up. NBA, Clippers guard John Wall said he considered suicide during family and injury struggles the last 3 years. The 31-year-old said he was in the darkest place he's ever been in following the deaths of his mother and grandmother. Also said he began attending therapy to deal with those losses in the middle of rehabbing a torn Achilles.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel, plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And as always, the Sportsocracy comes to you live from the Ingles Studio here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We're heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we're seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can get into the chat with us each and every day here in the Sportsocracy. You also get all of the alerts whenever we go live. We got a big Sunday coming up next week. It's going to be the first fantasy football set your lineup, start 'em, sit 'em show of the season. Jeremy tomorrow is going to begin the uncensored morning show weekly on Wednesdays with one football Farley, Brian Haynes.
The last need that we needed.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. We're going to have so much content for you throughout the NFL season, and it is right around the corner. Yes, it is not only the kickoff of the NFL season next Thursday, it will also be my 15th wedding anniversary. Love you, honey. Yeah, I have to throw that out there because now apparently every time I mention it, I have to mention that it's my anniversary as well. Congratulations, honey. I'm going to cook you a steak, and then we're going to watch football. Is that what you always dreamed of?
Don't get married during football season.
Right. Is that what you always dreamed of? Of course it is. Of course it is.
I mean, think about this. My wedding day, May 4th.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
May the 4th be with you.
Well, there's that too. I don't do Star Wars, so it's obviously not that. But yes, I do see the irony that my wedding anniversary is Space Bears Day.
Yeah.
It's the first possible day that the NFL season is just done. No more draft, no more anything. That was not lost on HWA when that day was set.
Right.
I can promise you that.
Right. No, I got married. I got married the first week of football, and every anniversary, it feels like we have to watch football. When we were on our 10-year anniversary trip, I believe that was the year that we were in the Dominican Republic and watched Kareem Hunt just tear up the New England Patriots on opening weekend. It was great. So much fun trying to watch that game in Spanish, too.
Oh, your Spanish not up to snuff?
Not enough to be able to follow play-by-play on football. Like, I could go, oh, he said football.
I can 100% understand Spanish. I cannot speak it back.
Really?
Yes, because I am horrible at you have to conjugate verbs and things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, HWA, completely fluent.
That's awesome.
Which is awesome because anytime this has ever come up, I can just look at her and go, I know exactly what was just said. But I have no idea how to say what I want to say back.
Yeah, no, I can pick out words and phrases, but that's about it. Watching an entire game in Spanish play-by-play, not very conducive.
5 years of foreign languages. 3 of Spanish, 2 of French.
Mm-hmm.
No idea how to speak either one.
That was just, I'm taking the language because they make me in my high school curriculum.
Oh, we have we need a button for this. We used to have a button. Rex B in our YouTube chat has donated an entry. Said, I'm not a fantasy football guy, but want to donate. You guys are great. No, you're great.
You are.
We're just stooges that talk about sports on the radio.
Absolutely.
You are what make this show.
Indeed you are, and we are glad you are along on the ride with us. So, NFL Top 100 came out over the weekend, and there were some people that were very shocked about the top of the league. I mean, I don't know why.
If you have Tom Brady ahead of Aaron Donald, you are out of your mind.
He's the best player ever.
Well, is he the number one quarterback you would take right now?
No, not a chance. You know what? You know exactly what this was. This is voted on by the players, and this was the players going, "See ya, Tom. It's been a fun ride. For your last season, we will make you number one."
All right. What I'm getting ready to say is some people won't like this, but it's the truth. All right. We are 2 people that never played in the NFL.
No.
I do not claim to be smart. Okay, that was a lie. I don't want to lie on air. I don't often out loud verbosely claim to be smarter than people that played in the NFL.
Yeah, I still feel like that's a lie.
I've tried my best to make this accurate. One of the things that has always irritated me is this preconceived notion that just because somebody played the game means they know it or understand it better than people that didn't.
Yes.
I get into that argument no less than once a week.
Mm-hmm.
This poll, NBA All-Star voting, virtually any time the players ever get involved. Have you ever noticed that there's always something that you go, wait a minute, that's stupid, and you know it's stupid.
More stupid. Mac Jones being in the top 100 or Tom Brady being one.
I'm gonna say Tom Brady being one. I'm gonna say Tom Brady being one.
I'm gonna vehemently disagree with that one. And look,
a lot of people were upset about the Mac Jones thing. What exactly do you want? The kid came in with a mediocre roster and took just be honest, it's not a good roster and took it to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why he gets the credit. Now, a year from now, that may not look quite as ideal as it does now.
Right.
I get it. Bill Buttigieg in our YouTube comments totally chalking up number of Patriots disses by Tank today.
Okay.
You're on 2 in 5 minutes.
I'm on 2. Mac Jones is just not one of the top 100 players in the NFL. Plain and simple.
I don't disagree with you.
And I heard a theory. That I'm going to throw out there, and you could tell me whether you think it's right or not, because I thought it was right. Someone else said this, that the players don't really know. Okay, they know the best players. They play against the best players, but they don't know all of the players. And they see a rookie come in and lead his team to the playoffs and went, well, he's got to be. He's got to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
I will take that one step further. Off a top 100 player. As a matter of fact, this is a top 10 player.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor or Jeremy Greene, who do you think watches more film of all 32 teams around the league?
It's Jeremy Greene.
And it's not close.
Not close.
You're super deep diving on who you play.
Yes.
But then it gets into, and this was said in the YouTube chat as well, turns into a favoritism contest. I get it. I 100% get it. if you look at me right now, and I'm going to take Chris D said this a very wise way. Who are you the most scared to go up against? Aaron Donald or Tom Brady? It's Aaron Donald, and it's not even kind of close.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we're going lifetime achievement, great. Then why do we do this every year?
That's what I feel like this was.
If we're doing lifetime achievement, then why do we do this every year?
Mm-hmm.
Because Tom will be the lifetime crown winner until forever.
Right.
Until we're all dead and buried.
Right. Because, there's not another dynasty that's going to happen like that before. We never saw somebody win 7 Super Bowl trophies before, and I don't think we'll ever see it again. At least not in the manner that Tom Brady did. What, Charles Haley's got 7, doesn't he?
He has a bunch.
Yeah, he's got a bunch. But he doesn't get the majority of the credit because he wasn't the star quarterback. Tom Brady, this was a lifetime achievement kind of thing. Plus the fact that he did set career highs last year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I feel like this was just the players going, we got to give our hats off to Tom. He's 45. He's not going to play again after this year. His last chance to be number one. And so we made him number one.
Now, aside from Tom, did you really have any issue with any of the players in the top 10? I know who you're getting ready to say, and I'm going to laugh at you.
What?
Are you about to say Jalen Ramsey? Because that's
no.
Okay.
No.
That's the one. That's the one I've heard the most scoffing at.
I don't necessarily know that I had a problem with anybody being in the top 10, but I felt like Josh Allen was too low.
I would agree with that.
At 13, I feel like he should have been in the top 10, but I'll be honest with you, looking at the top 10, I don't know who I'd put him over.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with anybody in the top 10. I didn't really have a problem until he got down to 19. When I saw Deebo Samuel's name at 19, I went, wait. Really?
But again, this goes to, you said the same thing when I drafted him in our top 40, draft that we did. Deebo Samuel is one of the most electric players in the NFL.
Is he better than Joe Burrow?
No.
The answer is no, it's not close.
No.
Is he better than George Kittle when Kittle's healthy?
No.
No. All right, I'll confine this down to his own position. Is he better than Jamar Chase? No. Is he better than Stephon Diggs? Because he's rated ahead of every guy I just said, and to me, that is stupid.
Okay.
This is the definition of a recency bias. If you had said that 1 year ago, you would have been committed to the funny farm. With your hands tied behind your back.
But a lot of this is recency bias. It's recency bias every year. 6 years ago, Cam Newton was number one because he had just won the MVP. The only reason Aaron Rodgers is not number one or hasn't been number one for the last 3 years is because I feel like it's a popularity contest, and he's not the most popular guy in the league. There are players out there, while they can recognize the skills, they don't like Aaron Rodgers. Now, he still ends up, 3?
This was voted on before he went on Joe Rogan's show. So, if I have to hear one more person in national media just lose their mind about Aaron Rodgers, do you not understand that he's doing this for your reaction?
And do you not also understand that we don't care?
Oh, I utter that phrase a lot. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus here, but there are times that I look at shit, and maybe it's because I'm in the business, but I just look at, what did you lead with? What did you think today's biggest story was? And from time to time, I go, nope, missed that by quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You can take that how you want to. At ESPN Draft Nerd.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Yeah, we get it. The top 100 is a popularity contest of sorts. It is voted on by the players, and the players aren't always the smartest. I always find it funny, when people talk about football players, just the nondescript football player, they're always perceived as what? The knuckle dragon, just dumb jock kind of thing. But then when we have things like this, people go, oh, look how smart the players are. You can't have it both ways. One or the other. I'm not saying that I'm not one of those that believes that all football players are stupid. But if that's going to be a narrative, you can't put too much into their opinions.
Well, I mean, look, there are a lot of guys that are in this sport that are very, very bright.
Of course there are.
I mean, I was a jock, so I guess that, I guess I fall into that as well. But, I mean, in large part, they got it reasonably right. I would say the 100 players are probably right. I don't love the order it was put in.
Mm-hmm. There are some that were way too high, and we'll talk about those coming up next here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is crawling 26 westbound between Upward Road to just past Chimney Rock Road. Again, 26 westbound delays near Long Shoals Road. Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume on the westbound side, very busy. Smoky Park Highway moving well. Patton Avenue, no delays. New Leicester Highway, no backups. Hendersonville Road moving well. Sweeten Creek Road, problem-free. On the Charlotte Highway, no backups. And Tunnel Road moving well. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
You ever feel like when you're at work, everything you say sounds like this because you're completely unstimulated and you don't care?
But then, when you're talking to your friends about things you're truly interested in and passionate about, you sound like you're alive and loving every moment of it. Then maybe you should try podcasting with Spreaker from iHeart. It's the easiest way to podcast and get paid for it. Just head over to Spreaker.com, Spreaker, and start your voyage from ugh to woo!
On the south side, we got 6 poly panels, and please make sure they're flush.
Kwame is converting everyone on the block to solar power.
Please get a crew to wrap up 202 South Duane.
He needs more certified installers before the sun sets on his business boom.
Well, let's pick up the pace. We got a long day.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
This week in the Buncombe County Game of the Week, it's Tuscola at Irwin. The non-conference season continues for both teams as Tuscola looks to get revenge for last year's loss to the Warriors. The Mountaineers have started the season 2-0. Irwin got a big win over Mountain Heritage last week. Can they keep the momentum rolling? We get things started at 6 o'clock with Sports Tank Friday. The Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show is at 6:30 and the kickoff at 7. The best coverage of high school football is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
Roots and wings, the two greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
I believe real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumbing a bag of hammers.
Back here on ESPN Asheville in the Sportsocracy and the NFL Top 100 list. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people lost their minds that Tom Brady was number one. No, he's not the best player in the NFL. Most accomplished player? Sure. Lifetime Achievement Award? Absolutely. More accolades than anybody else. This is what, the fourth time since 2011 that he has been the number one player on this list, first time since like 2016 that he's been number one. Career achievement, sure, but this was the NFL players going, this is our last chance to make Tom number one. And so we did. He had a career year last year. He's beating Father Time for now. This year may be a different story. But there were some players that were just way too high on this list. I mean, Tom Brady at 1, what at worst he was going to be what, 5? 6? Somewhere in that neighborhood.
A little lower for me, but
he wouldn't have been in your top 10?
Probably back into the top 10.
Okay. All I'm saying is it's not that big of a leap. I feel like there is one player, though, who made the top 25 that might not have even made Flostradamus's list. Trayvon Diggs?
Oh, no.
At number 23?
He would have been in my top 100, but it would have probably started with a 9.
Everybody just, again, lost their minds when he had 11 interceptions last year and went, oh, my gosh, look how great this guy is. Well, yeah, he's a former wide receiver who can catch the ball really, really well.
But he's got good hands.
Right.
He also spent a lot of time going, wow, there that guy goes. Man, I hope a safety grabs him, because if not, this is going to look bad.
He did, but I think that goes into if scouts and such, talent evaluators were making this list, he possibly wouldn't have been that high. But players see another player go 11 interceptions and go, yeah, we got to give that guy his props.
Stephen Tao in the YouTube comment said, I feel like we need a Mullet's top 100 now. You know what all right, I read how that was said. Here's how I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
You should go home, pour yourself a lovely beverage, and just go to town on a top 100 and discuss that tomorrow morning.
Because that's what he's going to do.
Yeah. Sometimes when you say things, I don't necessarily hear them the way you say them. I hear them how I want to hear them. So I believe we can 100% make that happen.
Okay. Trayvon Diggs came in at number 23 on the list, and I'm just kind of scouring the list here to see who the next corner.
Matthew Stafford. That's the one. Oh,
no. Who the next corner on the list was. I mean, he's a full 25 spots ahead. There's not another one in the top 50 behind him. I just don't know that he's. I do know. I believe he is not that far and away better than Xavier Howard.
He's not better than Xavier Howard. I'll go ahead and tell you. He is 0 better than Xavier Howard.
And he is ranked 30 spots ahead of him on this list.
That's what players do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what players do.
Okay,
Alvin Kamara at 51 and Matthew Stafford in the top 30 were the two that I went, what?
You don't agree Matthew Stafford should be in the top 30?
Is Matthew Stafford better than Justin Herbert?
No, he's not.
End of message, repeat the line.
Yeah,
and
Justin Herbert's 40th on the list.
But he hasn't won anything. Yeah, neither did Dan Marino. So is he better than Trent Dilfer? Oh, okay, then your argument is stupid.
I mean, is that what we're basing this on? Are we basing this on winning Super Bowl?
There is always a tenet of that. Matthew Stafford has officially become the guy in the NFL. I felt like he was insanely underappreciated in Detroit. 1 year in L.A., and now he's the most overvalued player in the NFL. I'm going to be really honest. I'm not sure that Colt McCoy couldn't be the quarterback of the L.A. Rams, and they'd still be good. Now, having the next level talent, that's why you want a Super Bowl. I get that.
I was going to say.
We've gone way too far to the other side. I mean, Matthew Stafford is arguably a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Arguably.
But he is not a better quarterback than Justin Herbert.
Oh, good Lord, no.
He is not even a better quarterback, better thrower of the football, but not a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson.
Oh, good Lord, no. I mean, to me, they're not in the same ballpark. That's one of those that you would say to me, and I would go, oh, you meant that.
But what has happened? This is my question. What has happened in the last 2 years to Lamar Jackson? It's just an open-ended question, because 2 years ago, he was number one after winning the MVP. And now he's 37th, 36th?
I have absolutely no idea.
Right. How does the list fluctuate this much each and every year? Because recency bias.
Because we are beholden to the most recent thing we've seen. And recently, Lamar didn't make the playoffs. Doesn't matter that the entire team was decimated by injuries. None of that matters. Now, my list, we're not going to be so beholden to the moment. I have a criteria.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Oh, and that criteria is going to be 7 domestic lights in. Lamar Jackson is better than all of you. Number 9. Boom.
Now, that might be a little too high.
Oh, Lamar Jackson will be high. Snoop Dogg high. I mean, very high on a list of mine. Because what I'm going to, what my criteria this would be, I love how Chris D said this. Who is the scariest person to game plan against? And for me, that is Lamar Jackson's very high in that.
Dak Prescott, number 44.
Too high. And if you don't agree with me, let's revisit this about 4 months from right now.
When they finish last in this division. Stop it.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy this.
I know you are.
I am going to enjoy the Dallas Cowboy Parade. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. I mean, I'm not Stephen A. Smith out of my mind on my hatred for the Cowboys.
Right.
There's just no reasonable thought. It's comical to me. And now you've fallen victim to it.
I'm not falling victim to
this team is so talented. Are they? Are they really?
Sure.
Look at that 53-man roster. Because it's out. Not real impressive.
You got some really good players on that team.
4 of them.
4 of them?
You're exactly right. You have 4 of them.
You get Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons. Who's your 4?
Zach Martin.
Zach Martin. That's
End of message. Repeat the line.
None of the others deserve any accolades.
Name them. Who is it?
Ezekiel Elliott. Tony Pollard.
Fat Zeke. What is the impressive part of him that he can average 3.8 yards a carry?
Fat Zeke.
Tremendous. That's great.
I'm not saying
yourself.
I'm not saying he's a top 100 player in the NFL. I'm just saying that you talk about him like he's not. He's just completely irrelevant.
Is he a top 20 running back in the NFL? The answer is no, and it's not really all that close. Okay, then you are irrelevant. Because you know who else falls into that? Chase Edmonds. How much time we spend talking about Chase Edmonds? Very little. And deservedly so.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that kind of – you know what? I'm doing this twofold. And we'll get 2 days worth out of this.
Okay.
I'm going to do a top 100, and then I'm going to do a top 25 most overrated.
Okay.
Ezekiel Elliott will not have to wait long to hear his name.
He'll be at least 4 on that list. It's just my initial guess without even giving it any thought.
I'm not 100% sure I could find 3 that I – oh, no. There's another one on his own team. Man, that's going to be a lot of Dallas Cowboys. I'm fine with it.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. When we come back from the break, we'll get weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Just stray thunderstorms in our forecast for tonight, and then some lower humidity to enjoy for midweek. We're talking about some 50s in the valley Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and then showers work back into the holiday weekend forecast. 63 degrees in the valley tonight with an isolated thunderstorm. Wednesday, sunshine, lower humidity, high 83, low 59, and even some mid-50s Thursday morning with the higher elevations. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic time ago, 26 westbound between Upward Road and Chimney Rock Road. Expect delays on Chimney Rock Road as you approach I-26. 26 westbound again slow between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. On the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, traffic volume moving well, busy and steady. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road slow. Hendersonville Road moving well. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Summer is winding down, but business needs keep ramping up. Check out Indeed, the all-in-one hiring solution that helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? with Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, "Best product I've ever used," and "Amazing, I love my Navage." That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part? Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, because shed happens.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
I am not a big outdoorsy kind of guy. I'm more of an outdoorsy guy, though, than the guy across the table from me.
Not saying much.
It's not. I didn't.
That's where the birds live.
I wasn't trying to claim that it is. I'm just saying, Jeremy, how many times in your life, if ever, have you been fishing?
Oh, I've been fishing more times than you would think.
Oh, okay.
I actually used to enjoy that as a child.
Did you?
And then the ADHD caught up with me, and I went, nope, squirrel, out. Birds, terrifying, back indoors.
So there's a good chance that Jeremy has been fishing more times than I have, because I've been a total of 4 times, caught 1 fish in my life, and have not seen the point in it since. I mean, fishing is for drinking, right?
Absolutely.
It's the only real thing for it. But there are people who really enjoy it. They love going out, the thrill of the catch, all of that. And one of those guys is a guy named Andy Moore. Andy Moore was in a fishing tournament on the Missouri River a couple of weeks ago. This was mid-August. And he says he loves fishing. It's more than a sport to him. He says that feeling that you get when the fish bites your line. It's that primordial jolt that you get in your spine, and it goes right to your brain. Well, the fishing tournament didn't go so well for Andy. Andy was not doing well. He had not been getting a lot of bites on his line. And then he threw out a cast. He says, quote, and I have no idea what this means, I'm just quoting him, "I pitched my jig, and it's horrible. It's like way left." And I'm like, oh, man, this sucks. Then he snagged the back of a rock, and he couldn't get it off of his line. So instead of, just cutting it loose, he paddled over with his kayak to try to get it off of the rock. When he got to the rock, he looked at it, and he said, "I thought it was a big catfish skeleton or maybe a deer skeleton." Which I'm thinking, that's a big old catfish if you're mistaking it for a deer. But it was a giant spinal column looking thing in this rock. he took some pictures of it. When he posted it on social media, his phone immediately started to ring. And everybody's flipping out like, dude, do you have any idea what you just found? So he called up a biologist with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They went back and found the rock. And when the geologist, he says, when the geologist guy saw it, he just jumped out of the boat in his boots, goes up to it, and goes, oh, my God. Because apparently what he had latched onto was not just a catfish skeleton or a deer skeleton. It turned out to be the fossil of a prehistoric predator fish that could possibly be up to 90 million years old. That, my friends, is a day fishing. Andy says after that, he really didn't care that he didn't do well in the tournament. And I hope to God he got to sell the thing. There's no word on whether or not he was actually able to keep the thing and sell it. They probably just do the responsible thing and just leave it where it lies.
We have a bit of an epidemic happening in the South.
Okay.
It's not coronavirus.
Meth.
It is at Sports Tank ESPN. It is sightings of the Sasquatch.
Oh, gosh.
Dr. Bob Frady. He's a doctor. Let me re-emphasize this again. He has a doctorate, and you wonder why people like me don't want to pay off your college loans. Has put out a YouTube video that has said he has had a close encounter with the Sasquatch.
A close encounter?
And it was not that far from here. It was in Hunting Island State Park in South Carolina.
I love that place.
I'm going to read his exact – this is directly from the YouTube video, which has now gone viral, by the way. We were laughing, cutting up, talking, and then something was right in front of the car. I would say maybe 15, 20 feet at the most. Maybe closer than 15. That's going to be a bit of a tell. His ability to judge distances and sizes are a little off. It was just right in front of the hood. My brother was driving. I was in the passenger seat. And my sister was in the back passenger seat. We saw a flash. Lasted a couple seconds, and it was on the left side of the road. There was a big pine tree and a palmetto stump that had a lot of greenery growing out of it. Very descriptive about the things that don't matter. By the way, friends with cops, this is a really good way to tell somebody's lying. I didn't see the head or the shoulders, so I did not see anything above the bosom of the Sasquatch.
Okay.
I saw the torso and the legs. It was approximately 5'6" to 6'6".
That's a lot.
That is a horrible description. Dark brown, kind of splotchy black hair that looked to be around 2 to 3 inches long, and it took a couple steps right in front of us, disappeared into what I call the jungle. Now, very descriptive story in places.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing I don't understand. Because there have been 4 more of these in the last 2 weeks. There are 3 people in this car. I've seen no less than 10,000 pictures of children going back to school. All of you have cameras in your pocket. Why does nobody ever take a picture of this thing? If it's out there and everybody sees it all the time. You take pictures of your food. You take pictures of your car. You take pictures of everything, including yourself, all the time. Why does nobody go, hey, maybe we should take a picture of the Sasquatch so somebody will believe us?
It's because he jumps dimensions too quickly. You just don't have time to react.
Yeah, and the reason I tell this story is because you asked me Saturday when we did the fantasy football marathon. I was chided for believing that that we were the only thing out there.
Yes.
I'm going to keep saying this until somebody proves me wrong. If there are all these critters and aliens and Sasquatches and the boogeyman and whatever else, why are there no pictures of it?
There are, you just don't believe them. We've been subscribing to the Inquirer for years. I mean, nobody believed the Bat Boy story either, and I saw the picture.
You all have HD cameras in your pocket, and every picture that I've ever seen looks like it was shot through a washcloth.
It's terribly unsafe to try to take a picture while you're driving, especially if you think you're about to run over
He wasn't run it over.
5'6",
if you want to be the most famous person on earth, hit it. I mean, you walk in with Sasquatch dragging behind you, you just became very famous very quickly.
No doubt.
I am not emphasizing doing crimes, but I do not believe there is a law about killing a beast that does not exist.
But if it does exist, then that's crimes.
You hit deer with your car all the time? You ever been arrested for that? Nope. Didn't think so.
Nope.
Just these stories, they get more vivid.
Anywhere from 5'6" to 6'6", though. That's the one that kills me. It's like,
First
that's
of all,
a foot is a big
I really
difference.
hope you're not a bank teller, because that is going to be just a bleak description. I need you to understand, I am 6'5". Tank is 5'4", and in every picture we have ever taken together, it is so hard to get things cropped into a picture because there's such a height discrepancy.
Right.
You couldn't get it within that range. And yet you want me to believe you. Ugh.
I've been to Hunting Island, South Carolina.
I'm sure I probably have.
The chances are, I don't know.
Where is that?
It's pretty far out there. It is, I believe it's just south of Kiowa, or maybe just north of Kiowa.
I have been to Kiowa.
But it's off the beaten path. Like
then I'm out.
got to try to find it.
Oh, yeah, then I'm out.
I've been there before. The chances are that he just ran into some drunk hairy guy who was stumbling across the road.
That was actually the impetus of the story is, all right, based on your description, you were talking about me. Congratulations.
Yes.
You had a close encounter with me.
That's not the Sasquatch. That is just somebody who has not found Manscaped.
We have breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Buffalo Bills corner Tre'Davious White will start the season on the PUP list, which means he will not play for the first 4 games, which means they will have to play the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions without their number 1 corner, and that could be a bit of a problem.
It could be. It could be, but with the improved pass rush that they have and the questions that the Rams have on the offensive line, you may be able to mitigate that.
Not ready to pick the game yet, but I'll just go ahead and tell you that changes a little bit for me.
Mm-hmm. Buffalo Bills, I mean, I don't know that I would have pegged them to win that game anyway. But, yeah, that's going to hurt. That is definitely going to hurt.
A super chat that we had that we missed in the last hour from Satisfied Browns fan. Apparently, Baker Mayfield was heard on a sideline talking about his coming reunion with the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
And said he was going to them up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a bad call. I would stop talking. Give you a solid piece of advice. These guys don't love you anyway. The more you talk, the more it makes it easier to just car ramrod you when given the shot.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe tone it down a little bit. Something I've said about Baker repeatedly. That chip on his shoulder, that is not the positive that you keep making it out to be.
I mean, it is a positive. You want a guy to have a little bit of that attitude. You just may not want him to be so outward and open about it. It's not a bad thing.
Not a
all
good
the
thing.
time. It's not a good thing.
Not a good thing. Not for that guy. At least not to me. Something that is a good thing. I could make the argument this is the biggest weekend in the history of North Carolina college football.
Is it?
Name me the bigger game that's ever been played in Boone.
Oh, well, that's a good point.
That's the biggest game in the history of App State's program.
That's a good point. North Carolina Tar Heels going to be at Kid Brewer Stadium this Saturday as the Tar Heels take on the Mountaineers. Yeah, biggest game there. It's the biggest thing to happen to that stadium since Luke Combs came to town.
And that's not the only game in this here state this weekend. Because you got the NC State Wolfpack.
The rivalry game.
Traveling to the Fighting Mike Houstons of East Carolina. You rest assured that game will be picked violently Friday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you've already put your flag on the upset. in the first hour that we were talking about college football for this season?
Just saying.
And the number 13 Wolfpack going to Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, and they're going to lose.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't say it today.
No, you did not say it today. But you have already said it. You've already pinned your hopes on that's going to happen. And I can't disagree more. I see much more of a chance of Appalachian State beating Carolina than East Carolina beating
Well, I mean, that's
NC State.
that's spicy because App State's a 2-point dog and East Carolina's a 14-point dog. So way to go out on a limb there.
I'm
Hope
not
it
going
doesn't
out on
break.
a limb. I'm just telling you. And I think you're putting your cart before the horse, or you're too many eggs in a basket. I don't know.
So-
Use your cliche here.
So here would be my question: if you're we're in the state of North Carolina, so obviously we look for these things. If you were looking for the best possible outcome, what would it be?
The best possible outcome
Mm-hmm.
for the state.
I heard Adam Gold talking about this earlier, and it got in my head, and now I can't get away from it.
What, for just the state of North
Just
Carolina
the state
football?
in general.
I would say the best possible outcome here is that Carolina wins, but a close game. And NC State should demolish East Carolina.
And I don't agree with you.
Why?
I think NC State wins close, App State wins close. That's the best this could be.
Okay.
Because then you take the little school that took the jump up, and now they hang with the big boys.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got 3 that are up there. And East Carolina's close. I'm telling you right now, East Carolina is going to be my Kansas State of this year. I had to find another team that wears purple that can make me as much money as Kansas State used to, because I cannot wager on Taylor Martinez. I've tried.
Mm-hmm.
I've been staring at that game for 2 weeks going, I can't do it. And Patrick Holt said exactly what I wanted to say here. He is one of our resident NC State fans. NC State having this much hype and going to ECU and losing week 1 is the absolute most NC State thing humanly possible.
Bingo.
I could not agree with you more.
Absolutely.
And here's what I can't get away from. Who exactly told you this team was good? Where did that come from?
What, that NC State was good?
Where did this narrative come from that this team is so good?
Because they were pretty good last year. They had one of the best defenses in the ACC last year.
Which last year meant very little.
But the fact that they returned...
The ACC was god-awful last year.
Don't they return like 10 out of 11 starters on the defense?
Mm-hmm.
You expect them to be good again.
I would also argue you lost 3 of your 4 best players on offense. And everybody's just, that doesn't matter. We lost our left tackle. We lost our 2 starting running backs. It doesn't matter. That's fine. Next man up. Okay. All right. I've been wrong. First week didn't quite go my way.
Mm-hmm.
I do not get the hype. I get that this team is talented. That part I understand.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't understand is this narrative. This is one of those times that I'm looking at this going, all right, what did you see that I didn't? Take away the win against Clemson. What exactly did you do last year that says you're even decent? I'm not talking great. I'm not talking number 13 in the country. What did you do that even tells me that you're good?
Mm-hmm. I don't have an answer for that.
Because would you like to hear the wins? This vaunted defense. Yeah, here's who they did it against. Yeah, you caught Clemson, who, by the way, could not score at a frat party for the vast majority of last year.
Mm-hmm.
You beat South Florida Furman, Louisiana Tech, Boston College. You lost to Miami. You beat Louisville, Florida State, lost to Wake Forest. You beat Syracuse and North Carolina. Who in that is good? You beat one team that made a bowl game, and now all of a sudden I'm just supposed to think you're this juggernaut? I've been thinking this for a month, and the closer we've gotten and the more I've watched this line move, and it keeps correcting my way, the more I'm going, oh, God, this is going to go too far.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go too far the East Carolina way, and I'm going to be wrong, but I will have been right all offseason long.
Right. I hope you got in on it at 14.
I got in on it the day it debuted. I sat around waiting for college lines for this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't figure it out. I understand you want your school to be good.
Mm-hmm.
This just screams to me a false narrative that becomes the truth. Because, I mean, we've talked about it forever. I got to ask, before last season was over, where does NC State slot in? And they were talking about it in the top 10.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Devin Leary's a good quarterback. I'm not negating that. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
There's talent on this team. But this thought that they're just a juggernaut waiting to just – because you don't have a Mecca Emezi either.
Mm-mm.
So what am I missing? You had 4 draftable players in this last draft. They were 4 of your 5 best players on offense. And now I'm supposed to think you're just going to come in and run roughshot on the road in a place that you haven't won in 20 years?
Has it been that long?
Well, I mean, they've only played twice in the last 20 years.
All right.
Just, I'm just saying.
It's the fact that they're getting everybody back from a decent team last year. Devin Leary drives this number. There's no argument to that. Devin Leary, true or false, is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the ACC.
In the ACC, yes.
Yes.
I thought you were about to say in the country.
No.
I was going to try to not
a chance. Because I laughed as hard as you did when everybody was talking top 10. Hell, when the question was posed to you, we thought they were talking about Wolfpack women's basketball.
That was originally the thought, yes.
Right. Like top 10 for NC State? In what? It's not going to be football. I think they're vastly overrated at 13th in the country. But I mean, while I love Mike Houston and all, I don't know what he's got in East Carolina. And does he have the kind of talent that will be able to pull an upset against NC State?
I'm glad you said that way. After the break, I'm going to tell you why I believe in this as much as I do, and we'll talk about North Carolina and the Appalachian State Mountaineers.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway in the Black Mountain area. 40 westbound near Catawba Avenue. Heavy delays due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, delays. Hendersonville Road moving well. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road, north and southbound, near Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, NC 191 northbound, approaching North Rugby Road, seeing some delays. I'm Lemon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. This Labor Day at Lowe's, buy one, get one 50% off. Select Sherwin-Williams paints and cabin exterior stains via rebate. Plus, Stainmaster's wear and dent-resistant laminate flooring starts at $2.69 per square foot. Conditions and exclusions apply while supplies last. Offer valid through 9/7.
Venture X from Capital One is the travel card for people always asking,
where next?
You earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars, and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel, and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. An oil change with quality oil like Castrol Edge Full Synthetic can help your engine get more out of every tank. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $37.99. Get what you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
It will be week 1 of the college football season in just less than 48 hours.
And it's a whole weekend of football. This starts Thursday. You got the backyard brawl, baby. I want to take West Virginia so bad.
The backyard brawl. Oh, and that's the Pittsburgh game.
I can't. I want to. I'm going to sing the song regardless. I can't tell you that the pick's going to be in that vein. But
and here in the state of North Carolina, we will have 4 schools in the state playing each other. UNC is at Appalachian State. NC State is at East Carolina. NC State, overrated. I want to make that clear. I am saying NC State is overrated for this season. But I don't know that they're that overrated that East Carolina is going to pull the upset.
Who did East Carolina lose to last year?
Well, let's see. They're in the AAC. So they lost to Houston.
At Houston.
Yeah.
In overtime. Houston, that's in the top 25, by the way. Cincinnati, who they played close with for 2 quarters.
Mm-hmm. Who else?
At Central Florida. Okay. Appalachian State, South Carolina. That's who they lost to.
Okay.
3 of those 5 were on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talks about how much NC State brings back. East Carolina's right behind them. And this is the loudest that stadium will have been in 20 years.
Sure.
I'm just telling you, this is not the walk in the park that people are making it. It's not the walk in the park that people are making it.
Mm-hmm.
Because ECU has a senior quarterback as well that's pretty good.
They do.
Holt Nailers. Just not going to be the walk in the park that everybody thinks. Can't tell you that I'm taking East Carolina. Can't tell you that I'm not.
He is. At least taking the points. He's at least taking the points. We all know it.
And I feel like the other, the Carolina App State game, people are forgetting that. These 2 teams, you can't really put much stock in last year.
Mm-hmm.
Because you take how much NC State and ECU are returning, Carolina and App State are on the exact opposite end of that spectrum. They're both bringing in a lot of new starters, a lot of new production. And that's going to be a loud stadium as well.
Mm-hmm. They do have the quarterback back, right, though? Chase Bryce, isn't he back? So you got a guy with some big-time football experience that's going to be leading that App State team.
I think they will both be fantastic.
Fantastic games.
I think this is it's the best week of college football in the state of North Carolina since I've been alive.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I'm here for it. I'm here for everything that happens this weekend.
I am as well. Chief among them, Georgia, Oregon. Start off the year right. That's all I ask for.
Oh, you're going to win by 70.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping. If we don't, might have some problems. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, the Daily Draft. Coming up next, more on the cuts around the NFL as well.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Just stray thunderstorms in our forecast for tonight, and then some lower humidity to enjoy for midweek. We're talking about some 50s in the valley Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and then showers work back into the holiday weekend forecast. 63 degrees in the valley tonight with an isolated thunderstorm. Wednesday, sunshine, lower humidity, high 83, low 59, and even some mid-50s Thursday morning with the higher elevations. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound stop and go between Hendersonville Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway in the Black Mountain area. 40 westbound near Catawba Avenue. Heavy delays due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, delays. Hendersonville Road moving well. near Avery Creek. Boulevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, NC 191 northbound approaching North Rugby Road, seeing some delays. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
The brand new Galaxy Z Flip 4 is here. Capture hands-free content from every angle with Flex Mode. The sleek foldable design lets you make your device conveniently compact. Visit Samsung.com to order your Galaxy Z Flip 4 today.
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can of kick-ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Shocking is how 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan is describing quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo's return. Also called it a win-win situation for both sides. Garoppolo and the Niners agreed yesterday to a reworked one-year contract. The deal improved the Niners' backup situation for Trey Lance. Also extends their window to potentially trade Jimmy G before the November trade deadline. The contract has a no-trade clause, giving him approval over any deal. NBA, the Knicks' path to an offseason trade to acquire Jazz star Donovan Mitchell has become more difficult, with the team finalizing a 4-year rookie extension with guard R.J. Barrett. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the teams could restart Mitchell talks before training camp. Two big hangups remain, though, in trade discussions, notes Woj.
Unprotected first-round picks, and Quentin Grimes is a player that Utah would have liked to have in the deal with R.J. Barrett. That was a player that New York has wanted to hold on to.
Baseball, the Astros placed ace and AL Cy Young favorite Justin Verlander on the injured list with an injured right calf.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our 2022 iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword Vegas to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's Vegas to 200-200.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Not only does that get you into the chat, but it also get you all the alerts when we go live. The Uncensored Morning Show returns tomorrow morning. Jeremy Greene, Brian Haynes.
The last need that we needed.
We need a better. We need a name for this. Do you have a name for it yet? Is this like
that sounds like something the chat should be nominating.
The two bearded idiots or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's just off the top of the dome piece there.
Just jealous you can't grow a beard.
Absolutely, 100%. Never said that I wasn't. It is the third hour of the program, and as always, we kick off the third hour with the Daily Draft. And with today being NFL Cut Day, rosters have to be down to 53 men. So we've got 7,682 players that have been cut today.
It's a lot. It's a whole lot.
It is quite a lot. So, Jeremy, you want to draft the best players that got cut?
guys that you should be
from
looking
their
for.
rosters.
These are guys that I think are. Look, as we said earlier, guys get waived. There's a lot of roster movement. A lot of these guys just wind up on the practice squad. My list is guys that will not necessarily be that.
That won't be practice guys?
No,
practice
these
squad
are guys that I think will get claimed.
Will get claimed off of the waiver wire. Okay. Well, this is very difficult for me because this is kind of out of my wheelhouse.
Don't worry, I'll leave the known names to you.
I'm not the talent evaluator, but I mentioned this guy yesterday. I have first pick today, and so I'm gonna say Jaquiski Tart. Feel like he's a guy who has a lot of talent. We saw him, not necessarily. He never was a star with the San Francisco 49ers, but his play at the safety position was always solid. I felt like the Philadelphia Eagles cut him loose, so I'll take Jaquiski Tart as my number one pick.
It's a formidable selection with the Philadelphia Eagles making the move to get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, of which, if you remember, we talked about this yesterday. I don't know what they're planning on doing at safety, but it appeared that none of them were going to make the team. And then they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Got him for a 5 and a 6. It's still, I mean, look, I understand that sometimes, okay, you get value on guys because you don't want to pay them. That's tremendous value.
Mm-hmm.
I am the talent evaluator guy. So I'm going to talk about a handful of players that are younger, many of them that were either rookies or in the previous draft class. And the first one's a guy that the Miami Dolphins released. His name is Verone McKinley III. There is zero shot he makes it back to their roster. They're trying to pull the Quincy Roche thing of we're going to waive him and then we'll put him back on a practice squad. That's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
He fell in the draft because of some size issues. He had a good enough camp. I thought he was going to make the team. And when I saw his name on the list, I went, yep, that's the one that I've seen so far. Just going, that doesn't make a lot of sense. My next one, he's a young player that his name should resonate around here. And there's another one on my list from the same team. These are places that you should look if you're looking to add talent to your roster. It's Chaz Surratt.
Yeah.
I understand he's not a 3-4 inside linebacker. If you remember when he got drafted, I said that very same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they just cut bait on him is shocking to me. Some team that plays 4-3, please, Jets. Sorry. Linebacker's a bit of a problem for us. We'll pick him up, and we'll be very happy that they did.
Mm-hmm. One of the North Carolina guys that has gotten cut loose from their team in this cut down period. I had a lot of hope. I got a lot of hope for Chaz Surratt as an NFL player. Not saying he's ever going to turn out to be anywhere close to an all-pro guy, but I thought he's one of those guys that would be on an NFL roster and be a every now and then contributor for a solid career. 4 or 5 years, something like that. Am I being too hopeful about Chaz Surratt?
No, he just doesn't fit the scheme at all. And these are things that other teams will just pick you apart.
Mm-hmm.
Because Minnesota has no intention of bringing him back. He doesn't fit the scheme. Basically, for them, it's spent cost on a third-round pick. There were a lot of teams that really liked him. So if you're a 4-3 team, that would be a player that I'm looking to put a waiver claim in on.
Okay. All right. That brings it back around to my turn as we draft the best players who got cut from their teams today. I mean, there are a lot of names on here that you go, they were good at one time, but I don't necessarily
those are not the ones that I'm going to be leaning on.
Right, like I don't necessarily know that if I had a team and I was looking for somebody, I would go, yeah, Khalil Mack used to be a thing for a year.
Khalil Mack?
Not Khalil Mack, Marlon Mack.
Khalil Mack is not available. If
Khalil
he was,
Mack.
every team in the NFL would be very
100%,
excited about it.
100%. I'm doing that thing again where I'm mixing up the names. I said this was a surprise to me earlier in the program. If you're just tuning in, this will be a new name that you're hearing. Solomon Kinley, former Georgia Bulldog. He was decent. He was a decent guard with the Miami Dolphins.
Doesn't fit the scheme at all.
I feel like
it's a solid selection. It's very specific kind of team.
He is a back-end starting level guard in the NFL. Just doesn't fit the zone running scheme of Mike McDaniel, and I guess maybe they tried. Maybe they tried calling around to see if they could get anything for him. But I feel like he's a guy that should not make it past the waivers. So,
and then
Solomon Kinley. And then you're probably going to laugh at this, but he's a guy that I've liked for years. I just don't feel like he ever really got his opportunity to shine. Although he did have a really good rookie season for the Denver Broncos. It's Phillip Lindsay. He is a very talented, can do everything kind of a guy.
He's just really small.
Yeah, he's small and maybe scheme specific. I'm not the X's and O's guy. I just feel like he's one of those players that if I was the GM of an NFL team, I could use him somehow. Much like Laviska Shenault with the Carolina Panthers. They looked at him and went, we could use him for something.
Phillip Lindsay will end up being a rotational back for somebody. For me, running backs, I don't get really revved up about. It's hard for me to get revved up about a running back.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you 2 shots at this. You didn't do it, so I'm going to do it. Tyler Johnson. That is the most dumbfounding thing I have seen all day. That you keep Brashad Perriman. You let a kid that coming out, I was incredibly high on. I have already talked to 2 teams today that plan on putting a claim in on Tyler Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not coming back to you. The question is, what bad team does he end up on, and how high does he end up on the depth chart? Chicago Bears, looking right at you. I said I would stay with the younger guys, so I will continue to do that in spite of the fact that I'm wanting to say Tony Jefferson so bad I can't stand it. I'll leave that to you. Donovan West. He was a center we talked about a lot in this past draft class. He was with the San Francisco 49ers. They apparently did not love the fit. Watch the Baltimore Ravens add him because I know they're drunk on him during the process as just a depth interior lineman. He was a kid out of Arizona State, one of my highest rated interior linemen in the entire draft. They're trying to sneak him onto the practice. Let me rephrase that. If they're trying to sneak him through the practice squad, it's not going to work.
Okay. My next pick is going to be a guy who he was in the top 5 of his position last year. The problem is he wanted a raise, and his team was like, no, we're not doing it. Sam Martin.
Buffalo Bills. That should be your first call right now. You should have already been on the phone with him.
Who did you say was kicking for them the other day?
Matt Barkley.
And
he actually did it reasonably well. Not at an NFL level, but
right.
He did, it wasn't a disaster.
Right. Sam Martin, punter. I know Jeremy says kickers aren't people, but they are an important part of the game. And then I'm going to go with Quincy Roche. Kid out of Miami, got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, picked up by the New York Giants, and he's another scheme fit guy. Doesn't really fit the Wink Martindale style. New York Giants have cut him loose. I think there are high hopes that he can be an impact pass rusher in this league. And somebody will pick him up.
I said there was another Minnesota Viking, so I'm going to go ahead and do it now. It's a guard out of Ohio State that I don't quite know how he didn't make this team, but Wyatt Davis. I was over the moon about him winding up in Minnesota, and apparently Kevin O'Connell does not love him. Shocking to me. My 5 are all young guys that probably end up on different rosters, so hopefully if they land with the Carolina Panthers, Atlanta Falcons, or any of the teams of people that watch this show, you now know who they are. Now the undrafted free agent.
Undrafted free agent time. Good night.
You're not going to say the same name as me, so I'm just going to let you pick yours.
There's no chance that we will say the same name here.
Mine's a passion project of I love this guy, and I'm very angry that he's not on a roster.
A passion project?
Mm-hmm. If I was an NFL quarterback, he would be me. You'll see soon enough.
Jared Lorenzen is not in the league.
Jared Lorenzen is not alive. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go with Malcolm Butler. I know you said he's probably one of those guys that they're just going to pick up again tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. They told him don't answer calls from area codes that are not ours.
But Malcolm Butler being cut loose by the New England Patriots, that was a bit of a – they did what?
If I was doing a New York Jets-specific show, I would have led with this. It's Chris Streveler.
Oh, stop.
Robert Saleh literally just said he had the best preseason of any quarterback ever.
He did.
And then you cut him for Mike White and Joe Falco. Stop it.
They still believe in the talent.
Of Mike White?
Yeah.
They shouldn't. That is the Sasquatch of the NFL. But that one game against the Bengals, I can't explain it any better than you can. Weird things happen sometimes.
Okay.
But I do think Streveler will end up on a roster.
Very good.
He's a gritty guy. It does not throw the prettiest ball you've ever seen. It's like Phillip Rivers, only lower, which is hard to project. But I liked what I saw. I want him to be on a roster.
All right, there you have it. There's the daily draft for today. I got Jaquiski Tart, Solomon Kinley, Philip Lindsay, Sam Martin, Quincy Roche, and Malcolm Butler. Jeremy, your list?
Verone McKinley, Chad Surratt, Tyler Johnson, Donovan West, Wyatt Davis, Chris Streveler.
There you go. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is time to go 26 westbound west of Hendersonville Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound is stop and go east of Brevard Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Future 26 westbound near Weaverville near North Buncombe School Road. An incident here causing heavy delays. 40 westbound near Black Mountain, an accident has the right lane closed near Catawba Avenue. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, northbound in Fletcher, approaching Fanning Bridge Road is slow. Again, Hendersonville Road, northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road, northbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. And again, Brevard Road, northbound, slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. This Labor Day at Lowe's, buy one, get one 50% off. Select Sherwin-Williams paints and cabin exterior stains via rebate. Plus, Stainmaster's wear and dent-resistant laminate flooring starts at $2.69 per square foot. Conditions and exclusions apply while supplies last. Offer valid through 9/7.
You ever feel like when you're at work, everything you say sounds like this because you're completely unstimulated and you don't care?
But then, when you're talking to your friends about things you're truly interested in and passionate about, you sound like you're alive and loving every moment of it.
Then maybe you should try podcasting with Spreaker from iHeart. It's the easiest way to podcast and get paid for it. Just head over to Spreaker.com, Spreaker, and start your voyage from ugh to woo!
Over 50,000 police officers are assaulted each year. Help police by not escalating. Address any complaints after the encounter. Comply now, complain later. Keep everybody safe. This message brought to you by the National Police Association. Learn more at nationalpolice.org.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Roots and wings. The two greatest gifts any parent can give their kid. But when it's time for them to head off to college, there's also groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions, and futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingles, we have all the comforts of home right around the corner. We know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most. Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Nothing but smiles, especially for Boston Red Sox fans. It's football season's here.
Smile so you don't cry?
Yeah, 100%.
Have you officially lost that wager with Mr. Tao about the Orioles?
I believe so. I mean, I don't feel like there's – I don't know.
I don't even watch baseball, and I know you hadn't been able to play dead in the Western for 2 weeks or longer. Might be longer than that.
It's been longer. It's been since the All-Star break. Before the All-Star break. Ugh, baseball's just – I'm over it. Thank God it's football season. We got Georgia football. We got Carolina football right around the corner. High school football has already kicked off. You got the NFL starting next Thursday. That's all we care about now.
Football. Oh, it's all football.
It's all football all the time.
You'll get Caleb Peak once a week.
Trying to get
there's your baseball.
We're getting all of our ducks in a row for fantasy football, whether it be in your home leagues or your work leagues or in the battle for the belt right here in the Sportsocracy.
If you're wanting in through the Patreon, you have until roughly this time tomorrow. That does allow you in as well, but it will be cut off tomorrow. And you will get September for free.
And all it costs you is a $20 donation to Eblin Charity St. Nicholas Project. All the proceeds from the Battle for the Belt going to Eblin Charities. They helped 1,350-plus families last year put presents under the tree for their kids at Christmas, and we want to help them be able to do even more this year, and we'll obviously do that with your help. You can find the link to the Battle for the Belt in the description of this video. You're going to get into a best ball league where you will draft your team. You don't have to make any roster changes throughout the season. It keeps up with the top scorers on your team all year long. You win the week in your league, and you get 25 extra bonus points.
No. You win your league overall.
Oh, okay. So you don't get a week.
It ain't that much of an advantage.
Okay,
it's an advantage.
All right.
That's just to allow the winners of those leagues will get a lovely prize pack from us as well.
Yes.
That just allows there to be more winners.
Okay.
That
so
way it's not just a winner take all.
Yeah. So it's not a per week thing that you get the bonus points.
No, that would be intense.
It would be intense. Could be a whole lot of fun too. Although we don't want to put our thumb on the scale like some sports do with their playoffs. Although it really didn't matter in golf. We made a big deal about that last week.
Well, I mean, Scotty Scheffler absolutely fell apart.
Yeah. Rory McIlroy coming back to win it all. And the $18 million.
I also thoroughly enjoyed Cameron Smith when asked about, why did you join LIV? Would you turn down that much money? Didn't think so.
Nope. Not a chance.
At least you're honest.
Not a chance.
But the contest is going to be fun. I will have the rules and all of the things. I've been asked that a bunch of times. That will be up on the social media right after this here program. Be on the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter machine, all of the good social medias.
Also, if you're just joining us earlier in the program, we talked about how one of our fellow sports talk compatriots has decided that, the $20 was not enough for him. He wanted to donate more to Eblin Charities. So he gave us enough for 5 entries into the Battle for the Belt contest. So if you can't afford it right now or whatever the case may be, hit us up. Email Jeremy at thesportsocracy.com, or you can email me and I'll pass it on to Jeremy, Tank at thesportsocracy.com. He has donated 5 entries. We are matching his 5 entries as well. So we've got 10 free entries into the Battle for the Belt. Just to help out.
And Rex Buttrick threw one in as well.
Absolutely. And we encourage the rest of you to do so as well. If you want to give more, we're not going to say, no, you can't give more.
That's what the whole contest is for. And we really want to harp on that all of the money of this goes to Eblin Charities. We are making $0 US dollars off of this. The prize pack has been donated from our wonderful sponsors. And the belt maker was, we'll put it this way, he was very nice because he's somebody that I know.
Right. And don't forget, while you're clicking on the link in the description of the YouTube video, that you should be subscribed to the channel so you can have your comments highlighted on this here program. So when important questions like what are we going to name the new morning show, the new uncensored YouTube-only morning show on Wednesdays each and every week with Jeremy Greene and Brian Haynes, you can throw out your opinions.
The Last Need.
The Last Need
The
is
Last
not bad.
Need is not bad.
Not bad.
The Morning After.
It's irreverent. But it's the morning after what? Tuesday.
I think you write your own description there.
I think it would be, it'd make more sense if it was on like a Tuesday. It could be the morning after Monday Night Football or morning after the week just ended in the NFL. Wednesdays, nothing happens on a Tuesday.
Not for you, because you're 1,000. I mean, for me, some of my
100%.
greatest stories have happened on a Tuesday.
Nope, I don't have anything. I don't have any great things that have ever happened on a Tuesday.
I mean, frankly, the day's young. I came in late today. It could be just one whale of a night.
Nice. All right.
But we're looking forward to that. There's been a lot of requests for the uncensored things to come back.
Tyler Cunningham says Hangover Wednesdays.
That's also a formidable choice.
Mm-hmm. Patrick Holt with Wine Down Wednesdays, only spelled like wine, like W-I-N-E.
Yeah, that insinuates that Brian Haynes or I would drink wine, which I if you've ever watched,
you would. If it was the only thing you had, I could totally see, and I'm sure there's probably a picture of it out there somewhere, Jeremy just turning up a box of wine.
Oh, yeah, that's the only way to drink it.
Out of a box?
Or out of the bottle. Those two. If you pour it in a glass, I'm not doing it.
Really?
Mason jar, we'll talk.
You just completely against stemware?
Yep. Not holding my pinky out. I'm not that kind of person. It's not who I am. Mark Starling, the angry news gnome, dubbed me the John Daly of Buncombe County. And, well, that's I always think about that. Would John Daly drink it out of a glass? No.
Mason jar.
Out of the box? Now we're talking. That sounds like a party.
Out of a shoe? Probably.
I've never done that, and
You've never done a shoey?
No, I haven't, and frankly,
why would you want to?
Oh. Brian Haynes and I will be discussing the fact he was an attendee of Woodstock '99 tomorrow, though.
That should be fun. He told us that story during the draft or during the fantasy football half marathon on Saturday. And I went, oh, that should be great. And then he showed us a picture of him from 1999, and I went, who the hell is that guy?
Oh, there's no doubt. If you've watched the documentary on Netflix, the fires that were started, at least one of them was contributed to by Brian Haynes. He didn't admit that. I have zero doubt.
Oh, yeah.
I asked him where he was when Limp Bizkit did Break Stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you know where the podium was the sound tower that they tore down? I was at least 100,000 people behind that.
Oh, wow.
So I was nowhere close on that one. Well, it's you were in the safest spot.
Right.
That's why you're still here to tell us this story.
That was one of those things that I saw, and I went, man, that'd be cool to be there. And then I immediately went,
man, I'm glad I wasn't there.
Man, I'm glad I wasn't there because I would have died.
I think Pennywise just gave us the winner.
Okay.
It's football, Farley, and Flostradamus. You don't.
I mean, I do love alliteration.
When the layup is there, you take the layup. You don't pass out of a layup for a contested three.
I do love alliteration, so all of the F's. Hey, never mind. I was going to make a joke there, but I can't because you were a better student than I was. So, and I feel like Brian was too.
Oh, he absolutely was. He was up there with me.
Oh, was he?
Mm-hmm. We've discussed this.
You smart guys.
Yeah. You remember those This Is Your Brain on Drugs commercials? If they had done one with alcohol, Brian Haynes and I would be the ta-da!
There you go. Because you just completely ruined it after you hit college.
High school, awesome. College, 30s.
Not so much. Not so much.
There you go.
There you go. It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Coming up next, the most important message of the day, plus more breaking news from the NFL.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Just stray thunderstorms in our forecast for tonight, and then some lower humidity to enjoy for midweek. We're talking about some 50s in the valley Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and then showers work back into the holiday weekend forecast. 63 degrees in the valley tonight with an isolated thunderstorm. Wednesday, sunshine, lower humidity, high 83, low 59, and even some mid-50s Thursday morning with the higher elevations. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go, 26 eastbound approaching Brevard Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway, 26 westbound stop and go between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Weaverville, future 26 westbound near North Buncombe School Road, mile marker 16, an incident causing heavy delays. Near Black Mountain, 40 westbound, the right lane closed near Catawba Avenue due to an accident. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Brevard Road northbound delays between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Hendersonville Road northbound near Fletcher is stop and go approaching Fanning Bridge Road. Again, Hendersonville Road northbound delays between Arden and Long Shoals Road. Sweeten Creek Road northbound slow between the Royal Pines area and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. The brand new Galaxy Z Flip 4 is here. Capture hands-free content from every angle with Flex Mode. The sleek foldable design lets you make your device conveniently compact. Visit Samsung.com to order your Galaxy Z Flip 4 today.
It's the Bass Pro Shops night race at Bristol Motor Speedway. And it's a cutoff race in the NASCAR playoffs. You remember what happened last year, right? September 17th. Go to BristolMotorspeedway.com and get your tickets before they're gone.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
That's that time of day in the Sportsocracy where we give you the most important message of the day, which is don't do crimes. And here's a story that comes to us from, this comes from Indiana. And the Indiana State Police got an email from this was said to be from a New Albany police officer. And the New Albany police officer was claiming that there were certain infractions that had been done within the police department that he had complained about, and that his complaints about mistreatment on the force or whatever was in the email, they're not telling us what accusations were made, but that the complaint had been made and it had been ignored. So he wanted the Indiana State Police to investigate and find out what was going on in the New Albany Police Department. Here's the problem. So Indiana State Police goes, well, this is a big deal. There's things going on, and they're ignoring complaints. We got to find out. So there was a name of the police officer on the email. They called said police officer. And the guy said, well, I didn't send that email. I don't know anything about it. So now begins a new investigation to find out who sent the email, because there is a crime being committed here, and it's called impersonating a police officer. Now, they have found the man who did it. He's 37-year-old Ralph Weaver, and he was arrested on Monday. So yesterday, he was arrested. Weaver turned himself in, according to the Indiana State Police. Here's the big problem. He is a police officer, although he is not with the New Albany Police Department. He is a sheriff's deputy with the Harrison County Sheriff's Department. After he sent the email, he apparently sent one to another officer in the Indiana State Police that he knows and says, have you heard about this email? Oh, yeah. It's the latest buzz. And now they're opening an investigation into impersonating a police officer. His follow-up question to that police officer was, if it was sent by a police officer, can you be charged with a crime? Yes. Yes, you can. If you're not the police officer that you're touting to be, you definitely can be. This guy now faces 2 felony charges because he sent out So the story behind the story is that he used to work for the New Albany Police Department. There is no report on whether his claims of wrongdoing within the New Albany Police Department if there's any truth to them. But he is now facing felony charges. I'm going to say this, don't do crimes. But especially, don't do crimes if you're a cop. I feel like you should know this.
Ironic that you said that, because I'm going to add to that. Don't do crimes if you're a judge. Mine is about a Colorado judge. His name is District Court Judge Mark D. Thompson.
Okay.
He did crimes. Apparently, his stepson was in a car. And as 22-year-olds do, he was driving erratically, which made Judge Thompson think that he might have been intoxicated. Well, he passed the judge on the way to the house and was driving right at him as he was walking their dog.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes back into the house. He gets visibly irate because the son is trying to get into the house.
Mm-hmm.
The judge does not want to let him in the house because he's trying to teach the child a lesson. Well, the kid gets in the house. And Judge Thompson does something that, well, you should never do. He went to his safe, pulled out an AR-15, and pointed it at the child.
Oh.
You're a judge. Like, okay, that's bad if it's anybody. The fact that you're a judge makes this exponentially worse.
That escalated quickly.
He said that the incident happened amid emotional strain caused by death and illness in his family and threats made to his life on his work as a judge. Now, I'm going to assume as a judge, you get more vile threats than, say, I do. But I don't think that's an excuse for pointing an assault rifle at your child. He was suspended without pay for 30 days. Seems like a very light sentence to me.
Yeah, well, I mean.
He was also sentenced to 1 year's unsupervised probation, and as long as he is on probation, he is not allowed to litigate criminal proceedings.
It's good to have friends in the system.
That seems very light.
100%.
For pointing an assault rifle at a child. And now a child is a 22-year-old kid, but still.
It's not a child.
No, it's
He's
not
an
a child.
adult.
But you pointed an assault rifle at anybody. I don't care who you pointed it at. They're also asking him to take anger management.
Right.
I believe that's merited.
22-year-old kid lived in the house?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it'd be one thing if it was a burglar or a stranger or somebody threatening to do you harm. That's a completely different story.
He lived in the house.
Good night. Yeah, 30 days without pay is
that seems light to me.
It's a very light sentence, but I guess it is It is what it is. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Today has been a busy day around the NFL as teams have been cutting down their rosters to 53. And, Jeremy, you've been so excited all day long.
Oh, this has been a great day. I mean, for me, I've been refreshing Twitter. I wish there was a tracker on how many times I've actually refreshed Twitter today.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of my nerdiest days.
But I want to ask you the question of, can a season hang in the balance on cut day?
The biggest things that are affected today are your special teams. That's where a lot of this comes from. I mean, and if you wonder how big of a deal that is, look at the Green Bay Packers last year.
Mm-hmm.
I could argue the reason that they didn't end up in the Super Bowl is because they could not play special teams. So, and you can judge a lot. You can judge a lot about teams based on draft picks that you've cut. There's one. All right, I'll ask you a question. How many teams in the NFL do you think have managed to not cut a draft pick from 2020, 2021, 2022?
I will go conservative, and I'll say 3.
It's 1.
1.
There is one team that has not cut any of the draft picks in the last 3 years.
Okay.
Cleveland Browns.
Really?
And what that should tell you, this is at least a cohesive unit. All right, conversely, the Miami Dolphins. They didn't have a lot of draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
They cut 2 of them. I mean, I understand they were late.
I was going to say.
And I know you're trying to play the we're going to waive them and put them on the practice squad game. That's unsettling to me. When you had, and this is something I talk about more, obviously, around the draft. When you give up a lot of picks, the LA Rams have shown you can do that and still be fine. You better be hitting on these picks at a very high rate.
Mm-hmm.
And it scares me that Miami's not. Scares me that Miami cut a slew of guys that they had, at the very least, had draft pick compensation wrapped up in.
Mm-hmm.
Lynn Bowden. No, you didn't draft him yourself, but you traded for him. You invested draft capital in getting him on the roster. Now, just throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's unsettling to me. Good teams do not tend to do that.
They don't tend to, but they don't necessarily have to have success. I mean, you mentioned earlier in the program the Las Vegas Raiders. They cut Alex Leatherwood. Yeah, excuse me. Alex Leatherwood. They cut him loose. He was their first-round draft pick last year, taken like 18 overall. We all laughed when it happened because he's not worth the 18th pick in the draft.
No, that was a Mike Mayock mistake.
But Mike Mayock, I mean, blew every draft pick they've had in the last 3 years.
And see, that I'm glad you said that way because I don't agree with what you just said in the least.
Okay, first-round pick.
There you go. He butchered the first round, which is funny to me because none of it's easy. All right, there's a reason there are people like me, and I got news for you. We've been doing this, 4 years now?
Mm-hmm.
My hit rate's not 100%, and I eat, sleep, and breathe this. But I'm just going to say, looking at the last 3 years, yeah, there were a lot of Alex Leatherwood, Henry Ruggses. There are also a lot of Trevon Moehrig, Malcolm Kuntz, Divine Diablo, Max Crosby, Foster Moreau, Hunter Renfrow. So before you crush Mike Mayock, just understand that there are a lot of contributors on this roster that he added later.
Mm-hmm.
That cures a lot of ills. It also gets you fired because first-rounders are what the average fan remembers.
Yes.
So when you go 6, and I could argue you missed 5 of the 6,
mm-hmm.
and the 6th was a running back, that's how you get fired. But the reason that the Raiders are as good as they are, and I'll argue this to my dying day, Mike Mayock did a good job from round 2 on.
Okay.
And I would say it's better than I'm not going to say than all, but the vast majority of teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter Renfrow is an afterthought. He's one of the best slot receivers in the NFL.
Right.
Trevon Moehrig fell like a rock. People like me sitting there going, what in the world are you seeing? Yeah, okay. It's fine. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
I got this.
It's still a good team. Still a good team despite the fact that they basically punted on their first-rounders.
And another thing, I feel like I say this every year, and I didn't give this the platitude that it deserves when we discussed this earlier. Draft picks are very important. They're very unbelievably important.
Mm-hmm.
There comes a time where the value of a known entity is worth more. I know what Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at a team like the Philadelphia Eagles and go, that's why you've been good in large part for the last 15 years. Because that's a depressed asset. They do not want to pay him. I don't agree that he's the best slot corner in the NFL, but he's very good.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the versatility to play safety or corner. You went and got that guy for a 5th, 6th round draft pick. The chances of you hitting a player of that level with either one of those is very small. And as long as you got a guy like Jalen Hurts that's making $8, you can make those moves.
Mm-hmm.
That's what good teams do. That's why we talk about championship windows. And I've seen a slew of other teams. Look, I'm going to say something nice about the Carolina Panthers. I know a lot of people think that I just hate them and I want to rail on them all the time. The Laviska Shenault move was brilliant. It was a 2nd round draft pick 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You go get that guy as a depressed asset. These are things that can absolutely – I'm not going to say change the course of your season. You're not going to go from a 5-win team to a 10-win team because of something like that. But those are building blocks. If I was Carolina, I would be really encouraged. No, we don't have a quarterback, but I do think you have a GM. I think Scott Fitter has done a good job of building this roster.
For the most part,
If you had a quarterback, well, I mean, you say for the most part. Yeah, you missed on Matt Corral.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that until I'm proven wrong, and I don't think I'm ever going to be proven wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But you did what you had to do. You inherited a team that did not have a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's not on Scott Fitterer. You could have reached for Kenny Pickett, but I would argue that would have been dumber than what you actually did. Going to get Baker Mayfield.
The Sam Darnold trade. I mean, it's a black eye on his otherwise not impeccable record, but pretty close.
You did what you had to do. You had to have some form of hope at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can play an armchair quarterback and say, well, yeah, that didn't work out well. For 4 games it did. For 4 games it looked very, very good.
It did.
And then it all came tumbling after. And I'm going to jump out on a ledge and say it was better than what would have happened with Teddy Bridgewater.
I'd agree. I would agree. But hindsight's always 20/20. And when you look at moves like that, you look at moves like Mike Mayock screwing up first-round draft picks, those are the things that we remember.
Well, and I got news for you. I can do that to everybody in the NFL. There's not one GM, not one front office, not the Baltimore Ravens, who we wax poetic about.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Terrence Cody? Yeah, that didn't go particularly well.
It did not.
That's the first one off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
The other dogfighter.
Everybody has their
for
misses.
what that's worth.
Yeah, everybody has their misses. I'm not saying that he's alone in that. I'm just saying these are the things that people remember. And these are the things that you're going to get most criticized for as a GM. Your biggest name moves. And if you don't nail the big name moves, then your career dissipation line continues to dwindle. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It's been such a wonderful day. Do you have it in you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's always got it in him. When we come back, Jeremy Greene, going to be mad.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 26 eastbound between Brevard Road and Airport Road. 26 westbound delays between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Weaverville, future 26 westbound near North Buncombe School Road, an incident causing delays. 40 westbound near Black Mountain, an accident has the right lane closed near Catawba Avenue. Hendersonville Road, north and southbound near Rock Hill Road, an accident, 3 lanes closed. Hendersonville Road northbound, again, delays between the Arden area and Long Shoals Road. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound, delays approaching Fanning Bridge Road. Sweeten Creek Road northbound, delays approaching Mills Gap Road. Brevard Road north and southbound, delays between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito prayers have been answered. Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back with that juicy steak smothered in nacho cheese with a 3-cheese blend that's grilled on top. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores for a limited time only. Hours and participation vary. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
Keep listening for the next chance to win your way to our iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 23rd and 24th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Tickets are on sale right now. AXS.com.
Stream it free on the CW app and CWTV.com.
iHeart and Capital One created a free iHeartRadio Music Festival NFT dropping September 19th for 72 hours. Capital One cardholders can get a special NFT unlocking a chance for a trip to next year's festival. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One NFT for rules and details.
I did a site visit, and the space is absolutely incredible.
Este's Reiki Clinic is opening another studio across town.
But there's a lot to wrap up.
But staffing an entire office requires more than just deep breathing.
Receptionist and at least 4 new practitioners.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Black Mountain, get ready to rock. Dark City Rock Fest, presented by Elite Events and Promotions, is coming to Silverados Saturday, September 17th, starring Saving Abel. $20 in advance, 25-day of show, and a portion of the proceeds will go to United Way, Dark City Rock Fest with Saving Abel. Saturday, September 17th at SilveradoSWNC.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Dirty Persian shark are back flat.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Shark are back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
It's football season, but that doesn't mean that I can't be angry about another sport. I have long said the New York Jets have hurt me more times than I could count. But the team that made me the angry human that I am is the New York Knicks. And you've done it again. R.J. Barrett signs a rookie extension for $120 million. Becomes the youngest $100 million player in the history of the franchise. And becomes the first-round pick that the Knicks have extended after his rookie deal since Charlie Ward, who was at Florida State when I was 6. And what does that do? It greatly complicates your ability to go get an actual legitimate superstar like Donovan Mitchell. Because in typical Knick fashion, even when you do something right, you did it wrong. Because you extended a guy who, just out of curiosity, where would you say R.J. Barrett finished in PER? It's a good analytical metric in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you say he finished in the 2021 NBA season?
42nd.
128th. That's your franchise player. That's the guy you're building the biggest basketball program in the world around. Why? Because you're the New York Knicks. And even if you're given a golden ticket, you'll find a way to drop it in a storm drain. I'm mad. I don't even like this team anymore, and they still found a way to make me angry.
Biggest basketball organization in the world? Is that what
You're in the biggest media market in the country. Rucker Park, all of the things. New York City is basketball. And still, you somehow find a way to be the little sister to the Brooklyn Nets. Ugh.
I still find it fascinating that he's the first guy to get an extension on his rookie contract since Charlie Ward.
In 23 years.
When was the last time they were
take
relevant?
A dart and throw it at a board, and you would be more likely to hit an actual legitimate NBA basketball player than the New York Knicks.
I would love to know if there's another team that's even close to that streak.
I can find that out, but I don't think they are.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
It's just a joke. It's just a joke. This would be the New York Knicks are like if the Dallas Cowboys couldn't win more than 4 games a year for 30 years. That's the equitable comparison. It's just comical. Now, and like I said, it's football season. So you're not going to get us to doing grandiose topics on basketball.
No.
But I read this story this morning, and I felt a headache just sweep over me that I haven't felt in a long time. Not since James Dolan made me completely tap out on this franchise. Of I'm not going to let you do this to me anymore.
Speaking of stories that I'm tired of, LeBron James.
Oh.
LeBron James, obviously we know the story. Like he has talked about wanting to play in the NBA until Bronny comes along. That he wants to maybe one day play on the same team as his son. But now apparently he's also hinting that he wants to wait around and play with his younger son, Bryce.
Congratulations.
Hoorah. Please, don't do this.
I could absolutely 100% not care less if I tried.
Really?
No.
I mean, this just, it smacks to me of the thing that we always talk about with the greats of the game. Are you going to be around too long? You don't know when to hang it up. LeBron James still one of the elite players in the NFL or in the NBA. There's no doubt about it. Just like Tom Brady, still one of the elite players in the NFL. But don't push it past 45, Tom.
Oh yeah, you're on borrowed time.
Yeah,
and
I feel like LeBron's the same way.
Well, I mean, but that's not uncommon. I mean, if you tried to break down a list of guys that held on at least 2 years too long, it would run to the parking lot.
True. But
Brett Favre.
We're talking 5 years from now.
And it'll never happen.
Bryce would technically be available or be eligible to be drafted in the NBA in 2026. More likely 2027. If he's even good enough. I know nothing about Bryce James. So
he skyrocketed in the last year.
But is that
there was never even really a thought of him being an NBA player.
But is it because he's LeBron's kid?
No, it's because he grew about 9 inches in a summer.
Okay.
That didn't hurt either. He's taller than Bronny now. And he's 14? I think he's 14 years old.
Something like that. Can LeBron play till he's 43 in the NBA?
Well, no.
No,
that game will not age well.
Right. It's just one of those things that doesn't necessarily make me mad. I'm sick of hearing about it. You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And don't forget to follow the link in the description of our YouTube video, or you can find the link on any of our social medias for the Battle of the Belt. You want to get in and stake your claim as Beer City's best fantasy football player? $20 donation, which will be then turned from us over to Eblin Charity's St. Nicholas Project as we try to help them make Christmas a little brighter for some of the needy families in our area. Get in on it today. You're not going to want to miss your opportunity to claim the big prize pack plus the custom belt that we are having made for this contest.
Over $1,000 in prizes. After the show, I'll be posting the rules and regulations on our social media, along with the link that you just have to click that little there's just a couple of button clicks, and you're in.
Again, you can find the link in the description of the YouTube video. We will be back with you right here in the Ingles Studio tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Just stray thunderstorms in our forecast for tonight, and then some lower humidity to enjoy for midweek. We're talking about some 50s in the valley Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and then showers work back into the holiday weekend forecast. 63 degrees in the valley tonight with an isolated thunderstorm. Wednesday, sunshine, lower humidity, high 83, low 59, and even some mid-50s Thursday morning with the higher elevations. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow. 26 westbound between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slows between the French Broad River and Airport Road. Future 26 westbound near Weaverville, near North Buncombe School Road, an incident causing delays. 40 westbound near Black Mountain, an accident has the right lane closed near Catawba Avenue. Hendersonville Road, north and southbound near Rock Hill Road, an accident. 3 lanes are closed. Hendersonville Road northbound, again, delays between the Arden area and Long Shoals Road. Hendersonville Road northbound near Fletcher, approaching Fanning Bridge Road, delays. Sweden Creek Road northbound, approaching Mills Gap Road from the Royal Ponds area, delays. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Boulevard Road north and southbound between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway, delays. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road, moving from Sand Hill Road to Boulevard Road, it is slow. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Your burrito